Maybe I'd go as Jack Scheerle and I'd just go buy a big gaudy gold ring and wear my eye on it. I'm glad you laughed at that. All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of David's Saturday morning sit back. We have Jack Scheerle here, whose roots lie in Flower Mound, Texas. He is a product designer and founder of Club Retro, an online design store.
And I just look out the window, our windows are down, and someone's like riding a bike, and or someone's like walking, and I'm just like, help! Help me! Help! Like screaming at these people. And I am such a dessert fiend, like a coffee cake, or like a thing of like blueberry lemon loaf from Costco. And you read the ingredients, it's like soybean oil, red 40, yellow 5, blue 3.
Is there food in this?
Yeah.
But they're also like pretty small time. You know, they're not a Chris Stapleton, they're not a Pink, they're not a Kendrick Lamar, anything like that. But
I love that Pink was in there.
First three bands that came to mind.
If someone said 3 years from now, you'll be long gone.
Founder and owner of Club Retro, Live, Laugh, Love Global Ambassador, Professional Dump, Texas Longhorn, and Max Maxer.
Yeah.
You're a goon.
Yeah, bro, I think that's accurate. You know, what's going to happen when everyone's their own, like, micro-influencer? And everyone's, like it starts trending Black Mirror, kind of, like, in that direction.
Jesus.
Everyone, like, social credit score type. White Christian moms were onto something when they said live, laugh, love, bro. I'm going to be honest.
He feels the need to be such a man that he can't even be associated with the word happy.
Yeah, that's crazy. He sounds extremely normal. He should definitely own a firearm. We need to get this guy in crowded, small spaces with women. No. You know, a lot of people in that group are kind of sober, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And then, you know, run into someone out and about, and they're on the same bullshit as me, then I'm like, hey, like, ah.
Shirt though, because remember how I told you I wore this on a first date?
Oh, you did tell me.
And I was like, correlation that there wasn't a second, or just
yes.
completely coincidence?
I forgot that you told me that.
I appreciate
it. I thought about that story too. I was re-listening to the podcast yesterday.
To ours?
Yes, which is.
Yeah. I forget what we talked about outside of the.
When you put this up on the screen, I was like, oh, I should wear that tomorrow, and then. But I had ordered that a while ago because I remember it was just like a bit, and I took it off the site too. Fuck, I totally forgot about that.
It's the thought that counts. You are consistently the only person that has brought a gift with you.
Well, I came empty-handed today, so.
But you won't be empty-handed Monday.
That's true.
Would you like some black coffee?
Sure. Straight black. That guy's my favorite.
Ben Barnes?
No, he's this.
This
random dude on Instagram. He's like this aspiring voice actor, and I don't know, his shit's all just goofy.
Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. There's some waters down there too. Teeny tiny baby waters if you needed some hydration at some point during this. You sure you don't want some pumpkin spice latte in there?
No, this does smell sweet.
This is Taste of Austin. Medium body with a touch of southern pecans and a hint of cinnamon.
Is that HEB?
Yeah. It says it's 100% Arabic. So maybe it's not a Taste of Austin. Maybe it's a Taste of Arabia.
Did you say Arabic or Arabica?
Arabica.
That's
Hey!
I'd have to Google what that means. But I want to say that means it's like, I don't know. That's like a type of bean. I remember people always came in for that shit. I used to be a barista. I had to learn a bunch about coffee. I like the setup.
Yeah, it's a little different than since you were last over, huh?
Yeah. You got rid of the table or moved it?
Yeah, it's over there in the corner. So that's my day job spot over there.
I don't remember that little undershelf.
The one underneath the table? Mm-hmm. Maybe you just couldn't see it?
Yeah, probably. I'm sure it was
Yeah, that was.
I'm sure it was there.
It was there.
Sure, it didn't shapeshift.
No, it did. The table did not shapeshift.
I like this. I don't remember if that was there last time.
This is new. My sister got this for me for my birthday. Yeah, we can move this candle back so we sort of have some room for here. And if you want some healthy oatmeal bites, I got like 4 boxes of these, so we can do some munching if we get hungry.
What did you buy those, or you just get them given to you, or what?
I buy them. Yeah, I like them. They're a good little snack.
Yeah, my little bodega underneath my apartment has. I thought I turned Do Not Disturb on, so this wouldn't happen. My bodega in my apartment sells those, and they sell them at like a super inflated price.
What's the inflated price?
I have no idea, but everything there is just like fucking almost a 50% markup.
Ooh.
They know people will pay for it. Like, just it's the only like walkable shop within the entire neighborhood. Damn, yeah, you are stacked, brother. Fucking Zins.
Oh yeah, you want some Zins? Actually, thanks for the reminder. I'm gonna fucking pop some coffee once here in a few minutes.
What got you on that?
The podcast.
Yeah.
So like back in July, I had these 3 comedians on. Shout out Isaac, Zeke, and
Were they the ones you just posted or something?
yes.
I was seeing those clips.
Yeah, they're funny. I love those guys. And we're probably halfway through the episode or something, and I think it was Isaac, but one of them was like, "Hey, have you ever tried Zins before?" And we've been drinking too. Which, hey, get the fuck out of here, Thad. You can go sit anywhere else, but here.
He's being a bad producer today.
Yeah, he is. But dude, and I don't do much nicotine. Like, I don't smoke cigarettes. I probably smoke like 2 or 3 cigars a year.
Yeah.
I'll go out to a hookah bar occasionally with friends. But one of them was just like, "Here, try it." And we were probably 4 or 5 drinks in, and it was a 6 too. And so I popped that thing in, and at first, first couple seconds, you're not feeling anything. And then 2 or 3 minutes later, I was spinning like a ballerina. I was like, "I gotta get this fucking thing out of here." Yeah. But then I sort of liked it, and now here we are, for better or for worse. I really like them during work meetings. I really like them right before I get in the sauna. I really like them while I'm podcasting. I have like these very specific markers where I like to pop one in.
Yeah, you don't feel like it's too, like you want to do it all the time?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, even like right now, I'm not sure if I want to, but I do love coffee and Zen together. It's this great little, especially when the Zen is coffee flavored.
It's true, and it makes you take a shit like instantly.
Yeah, this might be the first shit-filled episode where we're both taking 5-minute breaks. But you know what? You can use the bidet.
You got a bidet?
I do. You ever used one?
I have.
Did you like it?
Yeah. You need to clean your asshole. I mean,
I'd rather spray it than use 20 strips of toilet paper,
Yeah,
and then it's all itchy, and you're not even sure if you're clean or not, and
I use little
problems. Are they dude wipes?
No, they're just like the Cottonelle or whatever HEB brand. I use dude wipes to fucking fake shower once. Like I went to Big Bend. Used them as a body cleaner.
You got enough stack there on those headphones?
Yeah, I think so.
Can't give you more even if you said no. So
Do I need to move this closer?
yeah.
These are cool.
And then turn it around, and I like to have mine so it's sort of like not pointing directly at my mouth, but a little below. You'll be able to hear yourself, so if you're quiet. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you just fine.
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah.
You want me to turn anything up or down?
No, I think we're good.
I have a confession to make.
Yeah, you've been recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to play the music and introduce you real quick, if that's okay.
Perfect.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of David's Saturday Morning Sit Back. We have Jack Scheerle here, whose roots lie in Flower Mound, Texas. He is a product designer and founder of Club Retro, an online design store. Before this, Jackson was a graduate of Texas McComb School of Business, where he was part of the business fraternity Phi Chi Theta, I probably just butchered that, Theta, spearheading their philanthropy and volunteer efforts. Jack kicked off his career in the world of coffee as the manager of Epic Gelato and Craft Coffee before pivoting to his first data solutions internship. Since then, he consulted with Coin, Dell, and eventually climbed his way up to being a product designer with Dell Technologies. As the founder of Club Retro, Jack brings a variety of home decor in the forms of wall art and canvases, as well as clothes in the form of t-shirts and sweatshirts. There's also a link to drop your email and get 3 free wallpapers per week forever. Link in the show notes for easy access. You can follow Jack's works on Instagram at RetroWaviest and join his 200,000 plus following, engaging in art made exclusively for everyone. Jack, thanks for coming back for your second episode on David's Saturday Night Sit Back.
Thank you for having me. Dude, who are you? Are you Nardwar? Do you know who Nardwar is?
No.
He interviews rappers, and he'll pull out the craziest bits of information that people haven't told him. Where did you get some of that? You go to my LinkedIn? You just scrape my LinkedIn?
I'm just a magician. I'm Nardwar.
Phi Chi Theta.
I'm good at what I do.
That's my
90 episodes deep, I'm good at finding information.
There you go. Yeah, recruiter roots.
Recruiter roots indeed. Dude, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, bro.
I've been looking forward to this for 7 months.
Oh, man. Yeah, you hit me up in like March or February, I think. Or not February, March or April, talking about when we could get back on.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't feel like my life has changed enough to come back on. I was like, I feel like I got to come up with some better updates. But, yeah,
You
bro,
didn't even
we're
need
back.
updates. I just enjoyed talking with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, we could talk about whatever we want.
I know.
Did something change that caused you to be like, all right, October, yes, we can do this?
Well, yeah, because I'm going to move out of here pretty soon. So I was like, shit, I don't really have much time.
You're leaving?
Mm-hmm.
Austin?
Yeah, for a couple months. I'm going
just
back to
gonna
Dallas.
Cry now.
I know.
Why are you going to Dallas?
My lease ends November 6th. I got a 3-month lease in August. I was thinking about, I was going to move to like the Zilker area. I really like that spot, like over South Lamar. And then, yeah, then I went to Colombia for a couple weeks and was hanging out with a bunch of different like entrepreneurs and people kind of in the space that I'm in. And I was like, yeah, it'd be really cool if I could do this full time and just go travel, like do a month in different cities each, which is kind of something I always wanted to do, but never really seemed like a reality. And then things are changing right now. Like, I feel like I'm better positioned to do something like that. You know, ideally quit my job as soon as possible. When is this going to come out?
When do you want it to come out?
I don't know. How long was the turnaround last time?
It'll probably be like 2 months.
Okay. That's in 2 months. I'm hoping it'll be a very different situation.
See,
The next 2 months have to be like massive. Like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas have to be crazy for me to execute these plans. So if that happens, then I'll probably spend like a good chunk of next year out and about, and then come back here at some point.
Okay.
I
Cool.
mean, I like Austin. This is probably where like my metaphorical home base is, because it's close enough to Dallas where my family is. But I don't really like Dallas all that much. I mean, it's okay, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of things that are ifs right now. Like, I'm potentially going to get a surgery in my shoulder for my labrum. I got a slightly torn labrum.
Is this the same thing that we were talking about when we went to Barton and why you
Probably.
couldn't do chest workouts?
Yeah, and it's
You
gotten
should get a
worse since
surgery
then.
for that.
It's gotten worse.
Oh, no. How so?
I don't know. It fucking just hurts more. It's different kind of pain in different areas. It's like progressed negatively over the past, since April. It's just been, I went to PT for a little bit and it got worse, and then went to, I don't know, traveled a bit. I think playing golf didn't help. I don't think it helped at all. And I got back from Colombia a month ago, and I went and played golf, and then like immediately it started hurting more, and I was like, dude, okay. Yeah, we might have to hang the clubs up for a little bit.
You should fire that physical therapist.
Yeah, I should beat his ass.
Well, well, and I say that because I had the opposite experience. I think I told you, maybe I didn't. Back in March, I messed up my knee going down a flight of stairs. Mm-hmm. And I just finished my 7th week before I met Ryan, who isn't the physical therapist, I'd been in pain for 4 months. Mm-hmm. And then I finally was like, all right, this is too long. Because I was resting it. I was icing it. I was skipping leg day. Like, in my mind, it's like, why is this not healing? I'm giving it the time for it to just do nothing and heal. And it was
Yeah.
still hurting every day. So I went and did 7 weeks with this physical therapist. Shout out Ryan at Texas Orthopedics.
Respect.
And I wouldn't be shouting him off if I wasn't pain free.
Yeah. No, that's
It's
good.
crazy. It used to be, it was pain like 24/7. Then it got to be pain just when I was like climbing stairs or getting in and out of the car or walking the dog. And now it's only when really weird stuff happens. Usually like on leg day, if I squat too deep, it might flare up a little bit.
Yeah.
But dude, he's awesome.
Did he have any kind of idea of what the like injury was?
Yes, because I got an MRI and they sent the results to him. So he was able to see all what was, I had something called jumper's knee,
Do you know what was like damaged or weak?
the tendon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had an MRI done, and he's looking at, what do you want?
He wants you.
I know.
He wants you to move over to that chair, put the recliner up, and then he'd jump in between your legs and just take a nice long nap.
Just sit there.
That's what he wants.
Just stew.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a good physical therapist is key. I'm sure it helped a lot. I don't even think the guy I went to was bad. I think it was kind of a freak thing because I explained what happened to the orthopedic surgeon that I was going to, and he was just like, I'm shocked that would increase pain or have even the chance to make it worse. Like he had me doing chin tucks to strengthen like the back of my neck area, upper back, thinking that was going to help with my shoulder. Maybe my shoulder was compensating for some weaknesses. And like just after an evening of doing that, the next day it like I felt some searing pain kind of going down like this, and it's as if like that additionally tore something like. And those two really are not even connected. Like up here with your labrum, like I mean it's all part of the same thing, but I don't know. It's very strange. So like I don't believe he's a bad PT. I just think whatever happened there kind of got sketchy. Like I might have done it wrong. It might have been a bad exercise since I didn't have an MRI done before that. Like they didn't really know what was the problem. They suspected it was a labrum issue, but who knows?
Who knows? Is it one of those things that's in pain all day, or is it more of just it flares up if you're golfing, using it in the gym?
It's really just certain ranges of motion. Like once I get up to like about here, or it's really like in this kind of area, and any type of resistance coming down, like any type of pressing motion, it would hurt. Or like the worst I realized when flying was getting my carry-on off the thing. I was like, I felt like such a weak little boy. It was ridiculous.
You were asking the woman next to you,
Yeah,
like,
bro.
can you get my bag down
It's
for
like,
me?
I mean, it's a heavy bag, to be fair, but it's not heavy enough to where it should be an issue. And I'm like trying to get it off. I'm like, all these people are looking at me thinking I'm weak.
No, you're not weak. You're Jack Scheerle.
I'm Jack Scheerle.
Yeah. So what? Before I ask you that, have you ever tried? You ever tried the liquid version of It's not aspirin, but you tried like liquid stuff on it.
I've used Tiger Balm.
Not Tiger, but I have something I want to show you. I'll be right back.
Is it lidocaine?
Maybe. I don't know what the box looks like, but I forget what it's called.
Huh. Arthritis pain. 1% NSAID. That's like I don't know, I've heard of that before. I couldn't tell you what it is, though.
Obviously, what's going on with your shoulder is probably different than what's going on with my knee. But I almost wonder, like, if you need to take a bathroom break here at some point,
It's lidocaine.
bring those with you and slap some on there, and then maybe see if by the end of the episode it does anything for you.
I mean, I'm sure it'll help with pain management. I'm honestly not that interested in managing the pain, just because it's it helps me know if I'm like gonna do something that's gonna damage it even further. Like, I mean, perhaps like I do have some tendinosis going on, so that's just straight up like, I mean, it's a little bit of inflammation, a little bit of wear and tear of a couple of tendons. But, like, I don't know. It doesn't hurt enough to where the pain really bothers me. It's more of, like, the reason of the pain. Like, the fact that I know something's fucked up is what bothers me. And, like, it does hurt, like, doing certain things. But it's like I shouldn't be doing those things if they're going to hurt it anyway, is what I feel like.
Yeah, you shouldn't golf. You shouldn't get your bag out of airplanes. You shouldn't hit chest day. These are all bad things, Jack. Nix all of them immediately.
I shouldn't for a while. I should
Legs and back. Imagine if you just went on this intense routine of legs and back only, and your quads and your calves and your lats just got jacked.
Dude, I've been doing that for months now.
But you still look pretty proportional. It doesn't look like your chest is like has been like neglected for a couple months.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was hitting light chest up until like the golf kind of injury when I got back from Colombia a month ago now. I was hitting just cable presses. That was a range of motion. That like resistance profile was fine. It didn't really bother my shoulder. Now there's something like, I don't know if it was after golf that day, but like just hanging off a bar would hurt. And like I couldn't do pull-ups without pain. And I had been able to do back exercises like extremely heavy for the entire duration of this injury without any issue. And when that started being a problem where I couldn't do pull-ups anymore without pain, I was like, fuck, now I gotta do something. Something's gotta change here. So that's when that's when I got an MRI. And so since then, I mean, the doctor was just like, you should be resting this. Like, you shouldn't really be using it too much. So I've been walking a lot. I've been running a lot. I've been doing a lot of legs. I've been getting real creative with legs.
Your quads and your calves look great.
Yeah. I found out, well, I saw yesterday, this guy said he was some online trainer dude, and he was like talking about injuries in different age groups, and he was basically like, with your lower legs, here's a chart of where you should be at in terms of being able to do unassisted standing calf raises on one leg. And you should, it said like ages 20 to 29, you should be able to do 37 in a row on one leg. And so I was like, oh, that sounds like a lot.
No weight.
Huh? No weight.
Okay.
And so I did it, and it was hard. Like I got to 30, and I'm like just forcing each one. Then I do it on my left leg, and I was like, okay, I'm clearly pretty weak here. Like I need to be doing that more, because I get pain when I run sometimes, like in the bottom of my foot, in here, like shin splints. And so if I'm gonna be running more, because I'm not able to lift weights as much, I'm like, shoot, I need to be strengthening all that too. And where was I going with that? Just I'm trying to get real creative to basically keep burning enough calories every day. Because my diet has been so used to burning 500 calories per workout for months. If I can't get that number anymore as easily, then I gotta change things up.
Is that an Apple Watch? So does that track your calories when you're working out, or can you set it up so you're like, all right, I'm at the gym, and if I want to know exactly how many I burn when I leave, I'm assuming that's a pretty easy thing for it to measure.
Yeah, it'll tell you per workout, and then I guess it'll tell you like idle too per day, which is like about what I thought it was gonna be. Like I think without working out, I don't even know how it calculates this, because sometimes I don't have my Apple Watch on. So like I don't really trust the data all that much that I get from it. I kind of want to get an Oura ring, one of those like things that measure your sleep and your recovery and your calories burned, and it's like the same thing as a Whoop strap. There's no interface. It just measures your stuff all the time, and it's a lot less like this.
And it's a ring.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on your finger.
Mm-hmm. So it's I mean, I don't know. I got a buddy who has one. They're cool, but they're expensive. They're like $350. But I'm probably gonna go buy one and
wait for Black Friday.
True.
Yeah, that's only like a month away.
Yeah, we'll see if they run any deals. But because the Whoops are kind of pricey too. I mean, this thing was also in that ballpark. I'm just like, do I need to be buying a bunch of shit right now? But
probably not.
I kind of want to get one of those.
But that's what happens sometimes, you know.
That is what happens.
We're working and we see shiny new things, and I actually resisted buying anything for the podcast for like 4 months.
Yeah,
because I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Sometimes every now and then you'll just see something, or something will be on sale, and be like, oh, let's get these new mics. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with these ones though. These are the OGs.
These are good.
They've been here since episode 1. They work fine. There's no reason to replace them.
Yeah, no, I think they sound good.
Thanks.
I don't know how mics are supposed to. I don't know what the marketplace looks like, but these look proper.
They are proper. Shout out Rode mics.
Shout out Rode.
Yeah. I was asking about the watch because I wonder how many calories you burn on an average workout? Like, obviously, we work out differently. We're different ages. We're different. We probably have different workouts, different sleep schedules, different diets. So it's not really that great of a comparison. But like, if you did an hour and 15 minutes of weights, how much do you burn normally?
Usually, like 350 to 500.
Yeah, that's a good amount.
But that's also with like when I would hit either a run afterwards or like a little bit of cardio or like hitting the kickboxing bag.
I hit the sauna.
Yeah. I don't know if that burns. I've been looking at like wondering that. I think it's like you might burn like 60 to 90 calories in a session, like a 15-minute or something like that, just from your heart rate being up.
Right.
But
and that's not why I go in there. I just feel good afterwards.
Yeah.
You spend 25 minutes in the sauna and then get out. I personally take a cold shower. There's some mixed reviews as to if that's good, bad, or neutral because technically you're supposed to let your body like deregulate itself. But when you go from the heat to the cold, it just feels so good. And I walk out of there with some extra pep in my step. I'm ready to take on the world, you know?
Yeah, dude.
So if that's what it does for me, I'm going to keep doing it.
Oh, dude, yeah, it feels
Fuck
nice.
you, Huberman.
Huberman, bro. The Huberman types.
You should never take a cold shower after the sauna. Well, I do.
Get fucked, Hubes, bro.
Get fucked.
Have you met him? I know Spencer's met him a couple times, just randomly.
I've never met him. Does he live here in Austin?
I think he just met him like the couple times he was in town. Now there's this phenomenon called Huberman types, the people that just like drastically obsess over the stuff he talks about, and like they're very just like super biohackers, but like very meticulous about it, but kind of letting it mess up their lives. Like, I don't know, there's a spectrum of people, and you got the people that just kind of don't do shit, like in terms of biohacking, like they might work out and go hard, but they're not thinking about all this all the time, but then they're like kind of crushing it or doing their own thing. And then the people who kind of just obsess over it and it like kind of becomes their life. I've seen a lot of jokes making fun of that crowd. I think it's kind of funny, calling them Huberman types.
I don't know if there's a name for it yet, but I think I think that could happen for like the Chris Williamson fans.
Yeah, I could see that.
Who really like him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know how he operates in terms of like health and that sphere, but I don't know. He's a cool dude. I'm making a broad generalization off the fact that on Saturday mornings I go on a walk with about 100 other people, and there's about 4 to 8 people in this group who are in love with him like he's the second Jesus. Oh, man.
Like, they listen to every episode.
Yeah.
They get together on a weekly basis, and they'll talk about that week's episode.
That's fucked up.
They are like... Hey, don't say that, because one day I might have that, and I'll be flounder. I'll be like, man, there's people getting ready together for coffee to talk about this week's episode of DSNSB where Jack Scheerle came on. Like, I mean, hey, that's cool.
That would be great for you and I, but those people are sick in the head. I mean, like, you gotta love them, but, you know, they are mentally ill. I mean,
so harsh.
I mean, you know, it's...
Drink more coffee. You need to wake up. You just woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
No, it's I mean, I'm saying that to be funny, but like,
I know,
bro. If someone was doing that for me, I'd be like, guys, go. We got to take you to fucking Applebee's or something. Like, you got to go do something else, man.
Take him to Applebee's.
Bro, have y'all gone two-stepping?
At least visit the Retro Wavia store while you're all drinking coffee and talking about us. If you're that big of a fan and you're not wearing an I Am a Person shirt, are you really that big of a fan?
You're not. I'm looking at them right now. You're not a big enough fan. I need 3 of these in your wardrobe right now. And see, they can't even buy it. They'd have to go.
Well, that's how we'll know they're that intense of a fan, is when they've got the unpublished. It's not a book. It is
published. It's on there, but it's not. I don't have a link to it, so you'd have to enter the URL specifically. I don't have like a way to navigate to it.
I think I have that bookmark saved.
You might.
If anyone wants the URL, go onto the Patreon page and subscribe to the most expensive tier, and I will send you the URL. I think it's only $100 a month. No big deal.
Well, and we're gonna create a new one after this podcast, and it'll be $50,000 one time. And you can. That's how you can get this shirt now.
I mean, considering that the shirt is made out of human skin, I'd say 50,000 is a reasonable price.
Yeah. This is beyond contraband.
Yeah.
This is like Hannibal Lecter's T-shirt collection.
You ever watch that show?
No.
Me neither. Did you watch the movies with Anthony Hopkins?
No.
They're good movies. They're a little sick and demented, but they're entertaining.
It's Hannibal. He eats people, right? That's his whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was the show that way too?
I never watched it.
About?
I was going to ask you if you liked it, but you didn't watch it, so.
It was that one actor who looks extremely German.
I don't even know.
I think
if you showed me his face right now, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that guy." But I don't remember.
I think he plays some like evil villains in different movies.
Do you like what's that guy's name? That's the main character in Peaky Blinders. Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian, thank you. You like him as an actor?
I think so. Yeah, I like it. I haven't finished Peaky Blinders. I mean, I've only seen a little bit of like the first season, but I think he does a good job in that. I mean, it's a very like strong character. Like it's very out there, like very, I don't know, aggressive. It's very boxed in, like to a type of character. I don't know how to describe it, but
the archetype is badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays it to a T.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he is in other movies. Like I saw Oppenheimer, and it was not at all like his character in Peaky Blinders for, a good reason. But I don't know. I haven't seen very many things with him.
You see Red Eye? Batman?
Which one?
Christian Bale?
I don't know why I asked. I have not seen any of the Batman.
None of them.
I watched like part of The Dark Knight, I think, on a flight one time, but I didn't finish it because it wasn't that long of a flight. Dude, I'm bad about watching movies. I've not seen a lot of like the main movies of our time.
I am a little bit how old are you?
24.
All right, maybe I'm not surprised about the Batmans because I think I was like 21 or 22 when the Christian Bale ones were coming out.
Yeah.
And it was like not a big deal, but it was one of those ones where like you were getting the friends together, you were all heading to the theaters, like you maybe got tickets, maybe didn't, you had to show up early, Fandango wasn't a thing yet, like it was this whole big deal. Yeah. So at the time you would have just been like 2. You're probably watching SpongeBob while we were watching Batman.
Could be. I mean, yeah, I don't remember when the first one, like, are those the Dark Knight movies?
Yeah. I think the first one's called Batman, the next one's called Dark Knight.
Was that like 2008?
Hey Siri, what year did The Dark Knight come out?
The Dark Knight was released on July 18th, 2008.
Yeah, it would have been 8. I would have actually been 7. I would have been almost 8.
What were you watching when you were 7?
Definitely SpongeBob for sure. Great show, by the way.
Never seen it.
Oh. It's like cinema heritage right there, even though it's not a movie. We were talking about that last night, how it's like a timeless show. Even like I remember my mom thought it was funny. Like everyone there's objections to it that like you should not let your kids watch it. I don't really know why that is, other than like some of the things are just a little bit outlandish, and there's definitely some innuendos in there that went over my head.
Sexual ones?
I think sometimes. But I can't really think of any. But I mean, it's just like a dumb show, but it's like pretty witty. I don't know. I feel like it's a classic.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember what I was definitely watching like Dragon Ball Z back then.
Never watched that one either.
That's a good one.
Yu-Gi-Oh was probably the closest thing. Are those even comparable?
I think so. I think Yu-Gi-Oh was a Japanese thing.
Excuse me.
I was right into the mic.
It was for you.
I can smell it through the headphones.
That would be wild. Yeah. Could you imagine, especially if you didn't know, and you're just sitting there and all of a sudden you're like,
smelled it
that
through
is
my ears.
David Belch. What do you want to get done between now and when you leave? Outside of Retrowaviest and potentially other professional things, anyone you want to see, anything you want to do, any restaurants you want to go to? What do you want to get out of Austin before you depart for a few months?
It's a good question. I've been thinking about that a little bit. There's so many restaurants I still haven't tried in this town. Like,
you been to KG Barbecue? Not to cut you off.
Yeah, I have.
Okay,
that's
good.
actually right by my apartment. That's a good.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Can we grab dinner there one night before you go? Or lunch? I don't care what the meal is.
Have you been there? You want to go there?
I've been there, but I want to go again.
Yeah. dinner there is tough because they start to sell out of everything. Like I've only done dinner there, so I've done dinner there once, and I just got a bowl because they were like sold out of all the barbecue stuff primarily.
I know one of the chefs there, and he said the perfect time to go is Friday at like 4:45 because they've just finished all their dinner prep and they're in stock of everything, and you beat the wave because most people are either like going home or people aren't there yet. So if you go, you beat the rush. There's no line. So if you're ever free on a Friday afternoon, we should go.
I'm trying to think of next Friday what's going on then, but I mean, I'd be down.
Cool.
That'd be good. Because I want to try their like actual food. Like I want to get some like, what do they do? They do like lamb.
The lamb ribs are amazing.
Lamb ribs.
Maybe even if you have a buddy and I have a buddy, because if you go with some heavy hitters, you can sort of go family style and just order the whole menu and then just share everything.
Yeah.
That's the move, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got one buddy who's probably down because they do pork there?
I forget.
I don't think he's.
I almost want to say he doesn't because he's from Cairo and the Muslim community is so big that they don't eat pork. And so to keep with like the true Egyptian theme, I could see him not serving it because that would sort of go against like the whole theme of the restaurant. But I could be very wrong. Feel free to fact check me.
Yeah, I'm not certain. My buddy's Muslim and he lives in my apartment. He would probably come with us. He's been there before, but I think he thought it was good. I would want to try it. Yeah, I want to. Oh, their desserts, dude. Their desserts are so good.
We didn't get dessert when we went.
Dude, like it's like pistachio, cardamom, rice pudding or something like that. So good. I love rice pudding and different desserts.
You know what's funny is I tried rice pudding for the first time. I don't remember where. I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't a fan. I would try it again.
Yeah.
I'd get a little spoonful and then let you enjoy the rest.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like it very much.
What about it? Texture, taste?
I think my mind was having a hard time wrapping its head around sweet rice as a dessert because you're so used to it in like poke bowls or, like teriyaki chicken rice. And it was just such a weird concept to me. I was like, this shouldn't have sugar in it. It's weird.
You got to do like a mental reframe to Asia and think of like they do mango sticky rice or like coconut milk rice where they cook it in coconut milk and then they like add sugar to it and then they mix it with like chopped up mangoes. Or sweetened condensed milk. They'll mix it up with that. Or like think about horchata.
Ooh, I love horchata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just think horchata next time you go and eat it.
What else? What else do you want to get done before you leave?
I don't know.
You have anyone in town that you haven't linked up with in a while that you'd like to see?
I mean, yeah, probably a lot of people. It's just whether or not that's going to happen. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I feel like I'll probably see most of the people that I want to see before I get out of here. If I don't, then, it is what it is. I'll see them again, most likely. See, when is Halloween? I guess I'll probably see a good amount of people for Halloween from two different circles.
Halloween's on a Thursday this year.
Yeah.
It's about 12 days away.
What are you going to be?
Dude, life is going by so quick. I have not thought about Halloween until just right now.
Yeah, me neither.
Two friends.
I have one Superman suit that I brought with me from California in the closet.
Nice.
So if I didn't want to go shopping, I'd probably default to that. If I did go shopping, I'd have to think about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd go as Jack Scheerle and I'd just go buy a big gaudy gold ring and wear my eye I'm glad you laughed at that.
I don't wear this much anymore.
Maybe I'll shave off my entire beard and just get my little mustache going on. I won't do that. I don't like you that much. I like you. You're a great friend and a great man, but this beard is like, this is like 30% of my identity right here.
Yeah, bro, you can't. I mean, hey, sometimes you got to show us under the hood and then.
You don't want to see it.
That's what everyone says who has a beard. They're like.
I mean, I don't have like a fat neck or anything. It's not like I got jowls hanging out that I'm hiding. But just with the, ever since I went bald, dude, like it's the balancing act.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I was scrolling through my laptop a couple weeks ago and I was getting a bunch of pictures off the, forgive my unsavvy, I'm the most least technical person. I was getting them off the computer and into the internet, you know?
Yeah.
And I saw this one picture of me when I first started shaving my head and I hadn't grown any facial hair yet. And I was just like, oh my God, that is one ugly man. We don't like that look.
You said just fully skinned up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Do you know what you're doing in the terms of like seeing friends? Like, do you have plans that night?
Well, that comment was more about when my hair disappears, but
Is it gonna disappear? It looks like it's thriving. Look at this man, guys. Just did a little zoom in on your face.
yeah, don't do that. Don't.
Look at that handsome head of hair.
It's all right for now. We'll see. It might be different in about 45 minutes.
You're that stressed out over this podcast?
Nah,
He's just shedding. By the time it's over, you just have that'd be wild. You just
terrible.
it looked like you got a haircut here.
I know. Imagine it was this that did it. It wasn't the ample other bullshits that have pulled hair out of my head. No, I don't know. I hope not, but I don't know.
You think you're still gonna be here around Thanksgiving?
No,
You'll be gone by
November
then.
6th is the move out date, or November 5th. So, I'll probably come back 1 or 2 weekends before the end of the year. Will be my guess. I don't know for sure though. I might have to. I'm trying to figure out the surgery situation because the guy told me he could get me in the next 2 weeks, but I'm moving out and I can't just be in a sling to move out of my apartment. I mean, I'm trying to sell most of my stuff anyway, but I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I could come back here and do it like afterwards and stay at a buddy's place and just stay for like 1 day and then drive home the next day. Or I could find a doctor in Dallas, but then I got to go kind of through this process again. I'm sure I could use the same MRI, but maybe they'd want a new MRI, and maybe then it's a whole drawn out thing. They don't have any specific doctor they can recommend me in Dallas, so I don't know. I don't know what else I want to do here though. Like, I mean, maybe go to Zilker again, but the weather's good, so that'd be nice. But ACL kind of throws a wrench in that.
Yeah.
Is Barton Springs open again? They
shut down because of the poop.
Yeah, but
I think they are. A friend told me he just went there on Wednesday night.
okay. Yeah, I saw Buddy's Instagram. He was there, so maybe I'll do that again. But I get weird when it's cold outside and it's cold in the water.
I don't think that's getting weird. I think that's just being human.
Yeah, fair.
Well, if it helps your decision-making process, and I might have to cut this part out because I don't want people hearing this offer go out, I will gladly help you move out if you need help with any few like heavy things that you're not selling.
Yeah.
If that makes you want to get your surgery knowing you'll have some other dudes there to help you carry stuff, I'll be there for you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Sure.
I'm hoping I can get most of it sold. It's really only going to be a standing desk that I'm bringing home with me. I say that, and then because I'm moving back in with my grandparents for a couple months, and I was like, don't worry, selling everything, getting a storage unit. And I went up for Texas versus OU last weekend, and I brought a bunch of stuff with me, and not even half of what I'm bringing back, which is like, I mean, it's mostly clothes and like kind of boxes of stuff. I'm not bringing back furniture, but yeah, I was like, the deal is changing a little bit on my end.
I left at my mom's place, speaking of Halloween, a standard shed, probably in her backyard. It's probably like 8 feet tall and I don't know, maybe as wide as like that corner to the door frame. Mm-hmm. And I stacked it full of just Halloween decorations.
Oh yeah.
Because every year, starting my senior year of high school to 2019 was the last Halloween party. So that was 13 years, and every year I threw a murder mystery party. And it got to a point where I'd accumulated so many Halloween decorations that by like 2017, 18, 19, we could transform the house so it didn't even look like the same. It was awesome.
That's crazy.
It was epic. And when I was moving out, it was funny because I had no problem getting rid of my furniture. I brought my clothes with me because those could fit in the trunk of the car. Like, I had no problem getting rid of everything I owned. But the Halloween stuff, I was just like, damn, this is over a decade of stuff. And she wasn't using the shed. So I was like, hey, do you mind if I use this until you have a need for it? She said, sure. And so now there's just like 20, 25 boxes of just animatronics and just all sorts of shit.
Should have some of it shipped over here and decorate your balcony or your...
I could decorate this entire place so easy. It's so small, I could even deck out this hallway, be like, hey, neighbors, I'm going to turn this into a creepy tunnel to hell. This is a Christian, so she might not like that very much, but she can deal with it.
Yeah,
It'll be up for like a week.
They're all like... Like, yay, thanks.
They get home one day and it's just dark, bunch of ghost-like skeleton and undead figures.
Yeah.
Can we go into our own home? Maybe.
Maybe it's
Maybe you
haunted.
shouldn't.
Maybe there's a little boy hiding in the corner of your room. Maybe you have gnomes.
There's this one old lady animatronic I had, and I got such a kick out of this. Whenever someone came over to my place and they'd never been to a Halloween party, I would set her up right outside the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And the only tricky thing with this is I couldn't use the bathroom before then because it would set her off. Mm. So I would like dehydrate myself and not eat.
It's like me before a flight.
Yeah. This is me when guests come over. Yeah. And so then I'd wait for them to go to the bathroom and they'd go in and shut the door. And then you just hear her start clacking. And you just hear, whoa! Like, some of them didn't react at all. Like they'd just come out and be like, why is she up? It's June. but then other people damn near gave him a heart attack, and those ones, that was fucking priceless.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's fire. You gotta just start pranking people.
Yeah,
put a booby trap in here. People walk in and they get like covered in a net.
Oh well, I don't think the female guests would. Well, I don't think any guests would like that very much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe pick and choose who gets assaulted every time they walk in.
The people coming back for round 2.
Yeah. Those people pass the check.
Yeah.
How many people have come back for round 2?
Hannah, Spencer, Dalton, you, we'll count you. Mm-hmm. Olivia's coming back next month. And I feel like there's probably at least one forgetting. Dom, but he's not released yet. So probably 6, give or take. Mm. Yeah.
Nice. That's out of how many? There's been over 100, right?
So 87 came out today.
Oh, 87.
But there's probably at least like 98 recorded, something like that.
It's was it 70 that you, like last time you and I hung out when we went to Barton Springs? I think you had just done 70.
Something like that, because that would have been like 4 months ago. Yeah, probably 70.
That makes sense.
So what do you need to happen for Black Friday? What were the 3 holidays you said? Black Friday, Christmas, and what was the third one?
Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday.
Yeah, just that whole like season basically is when consumer spending's way up.
Is this Club Retro stuff that you need to skyrocket?
Yeah.
What are you going to do to promote it?
Run ads.
Where?
I'm going to do Facebook ads that target my audience and do retargeting on that. And I'm going to work with someone who actually knows how to do Facebook ads. I mean, I'm trying to spend like 30 grand on ads. Like I'm trying.
Really?
Yeah. I'm trying to spend like all my money on ads, dude.
And then what kind of, do you have a goal that you'd like, based off ads that you've run previously, are you able to set up some sort of metric for like, all right,
no,
my customer,
that out.
So you have no idea what your customer acquisition is?
No, none. But yeah, I mean, I've just, so like last time I was on, because we were talking about this and I was listening to this last night, I was really just kind of like floating by on it. Like I really had no plan and no kind of idea of how I was going to turn it into something worth turning into something. You know, that was 83K followers was what we were talking about. Now it's at 202,000. I think I said on the podcast, it was like my monthly views were like 150,000 or something like that. Right now it's 6.6 million monthly. So
wow.
Yeah. And that's just from like getting into Reels finally, like short form video, which is skyrocketed the shit out of the page. Like, because some will just go mega viral that get like 1 or 2 million views. Most of them only get like 20 to 60K views, but some of them like every month or every few weeks will just pop off, and that will drive like the one that's done the best for me. It's like at 2.8 million views this morning, and it's given me like 15 or 16,000 followers just from that one post 2 weeks ago, and it'll show you like people who followed directly from that reel. So the short form content is just huge, and then just trying to get as many eyeballs towards the page. And like the focus really for the last 6 months or 4 months has been like brand voice messaging. Like what's the actual meaning behind the page? What kind of ideas and message do I want to spread to where it's more of like the concept of the page is an idea and maybe a mentality or like a message, and then the art goes along with that message instead of just like, here's cool art, here's cool stuff, look at it. Like I feel like that gets a more emotional buy-in from the viewers, and it kind of makes it an actual brand because it's not quite a brand yet. Like it's still kind of just an Instagram page. So it's like really the transition phase of turning that into a brand, something like a Kill Crew or a Bird Dogs or even like Nike. Like they've got a very strong message behind them and then a really good product. And it's that just transition into something like that just from this following, trying to use that. So for Black Friday, like I'm just trying to sell as many posters as I can. I'm adding more clothing and hats. It's really posters are my highest margin item, and they're cheaper to ship than canvases. And so just trying to sell as many of those as I can, really.
Is it because the canvases are already framed, so you have to ship them as like a a flat, rectangular box, whereas the posters, you can just roll it up and...
Yeah, and they're an inch thick canvas on wood wrapped around a little wood frame, and they're expensive to ship. They're bigger. It's a pain.
You gonna bring back the I Am a Person for just like 1 week for Black Friday or Cyber Monday?
I can.
Did it ever do that good when it was up? Was it a good seller?
I mean, not off of. I didn't sell to a single person who wasn't a friend of mine. But I kind of tried to hide it, you know.
Well, I know you did, yeah, because I remember a couple weeks after our original podcast, I went to buy one for a friend, or for some reason I went back onto the site specifically for the shirt.
Okay.
And I think I texted you, and you're like, "Yeah, I took it down for performance reasons."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did feel like when I had it up, it led to a decrease in sales. I think that's probably just circumstance and coincidence, but I don't think people looked at that and went, "Oh, this is a brand I identify with." I think they were probably like, "What the fuck, dude? What is this?"
But you know what's funny is every time I wear it, like for a Zoom call or something, and I jump on, people love it. And I'm not trying to say this to get you to put it back on.
Yeah.
But what's funny or ironic is like I wear this on a podcast or out, and just like you said, it is a conversation starter. People will be like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And like the most recent time was at the gym. So I took my backpack off and then I just turned around and didn't say anything so they could read the back, where for the audience who's listening, it just says, "Who am I? Who am I?"
Yeah.
And there's a cup full of items, which you claim are ping pong balls.
No, they're raw eggs.
Oh, they are raw eggs.
Yeah.
Okay. But I've had people say like, "Oh, is it a beer pong shirt? Is it a..."
In the podcast, last night, our old one, you were like, "Are they ping pong balls?" I'm like, "Nah, raw eggs."
Even better. But people react to it in real time. I don't know if that obviously that doesn't translate to people buying it, but they think it's interesting.
They definitely think it's interesting. Yeah. The only thing that I don't like about it is people mistaking it for having like some kind of meaning, like as if I'm taking a stand or something like that. Like, I am a person. No, dude, it's not that deep. It's just dumb. I wish it was more evident that it was just dumb. I wish it wasn't something that could be construed into something with actual meaning, because that was not the goal.
Maybe if instead of just being plain black, if behind it was an image of the Flagathon, people would understand that it's
straight black. Yeah, no, it's I don't even the Flagathon. I couldn't even picture what that is. I had it in the description of the shirt. I wrote it, but I don't remember what it was. It's like a dimension of something.
You ever are in a mood where you're in the middle of something and you're just like, I need a laugh, or I want to laugh? Has that ever happened to you?
Honestly, not that often.
That's probably happened to me. Not that often for me either, but since our podcast, there were like 2 or 3 times where I was just like, man, I'll be sitting on the toilet or in the middle of a work day or something. I'll just be like, I want to chuckle at something for a minute. And I'll find that part of the podcast where you are just damn near in tears when I'm reading your description. And I'll just watch that, and then it makes me happy. And I'm like, all right, on with my day. I'm good again.
Yeah, that was the first time anyone had read that out loud to me, and I was just like listening to how outrageous it was. It was funny. I don't... No, I think my content is just so full of like funny shit that I listen to, like, or that people will send me. Like the memes that I send to my friends and we send back and forth are just like, it's just ridiculous, egregious BS, and that's I'm like, I need less of this actually. I need to sit down and focus on something. But yeah, it's just constant nonsense.
No offense to my friends who I'm about to shout out. I won't name them, but I have a couple friends like that who send me like, dude, I don't even know. It was like up to 20 videos a day, and they're all on mute now because some of them were funny, some of them weren't. Like out of 20, 10, I was just like, why did you even send me this? 8 were like mildly funny, and then 2 would really get me.
Yeah.
But it got to a point where I was getting so many notifications of like, Jack sent you another video. Jack sent you another video. I was like, Jack's going on mute. It's what's happening. Like,
it's over.
And I'll go in there every now and then. Usually, like when I'm on the toilet, I'm like, all right, I got 5 minutes to spare.
Yeah.
Let's see what they sent me in the last 2 weeks. And then sometimes I'll even log in, and it'll be like 300 new videos have been sent. I'm like, actually, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't even want to watch one of these now. It's too many memes and videos. And
yeah, I've got buddies who like, I've got my buddies that'll send me stuff that's funny, and like it's like an agreement. We just send each other funny shit. And he'll send me stuff, and it's like, I always know he'll send me like 5 things, and I'm like, I know for sure at least 3 of these I can just send straight away to my other friends. And it's always like, they just have the most outrageous algorithms. Like, it'll be something with like 30 views, and it's just some very mentally ill old woman in a house that's just like talking about how there are trackers watching her, and there's like, it's a lot of schizophrenic people. And he'll send me that, and I'll just be like, it's not even like we think it's funny. We're just like, it's just kind of crazy. And it's like, how much off the deep end can our shit go that we just send to each other? And then I've got other friends who just send me kind of corny memes that I'm like, this isn't that funny, bro. But I'm like, you got to just kind of, I don't know. It's a tough one.
can I play you something that you sent me?
Yeah.
You know what it's going to be?
No. Oh. If it's recent.
Sorry. Dude, yeah, I'm out here in my fucking own apartment.
Oh, dude.
Just wanted to show
Have
you.
to cut this out, bro.
This is my little glass situation. So I have a lot of glasses. I really do. I am living on my own and happen to have a shit ton of fucking glasses. But fuck all those, because here's the deal. Look at these. Anyways. Oh, what is that? Oh, one of the most important fucking glasses ceramics in my collection. Because A, that's my homie's shit right there. That's my homie's fucking show. That's my dog.
You're going to have to demonetize this.
Somehow, I'm on that. But anyways, I said, man, this is my shit right here. Just moved in this. This is my glass setup for my nice glass. This is my collection right here. So, hey, here you are. Welcome to the club. I got a bunch of other shit. Fucking, we got random shit. Fucking Planet Hollywood.
Yeah, you want to see every glass in my cupboard, bro? Here you go.
Fucking other shit. And then we got...
Every other word is just...
That's my dog right there. That's my dog. Fuck yeah, bro.
Hell yeah.
That's my dog right there. Anyways.
Respect.
Just wanted to remind you. Hey, yo, dickhead.
Hey, dickhead.
Sorry.
That video made my night.
Bro, I'm glad. Can we go off the record for just a sec?
Yeah, go off the record. All right, we're back. Why are you doing like a sober October, or is it more of is it not even like a timeline type thing where you're just taking a break from the drinking for a little bit?
Yeah, no, I'm taking a break until today.
Well, and that's funny you say that, because as soon as you said that buddy's back in town, I was like, I wonder how that's gonna go.
I thought about it, and I was like, it is my last few weeks in Austin. I was like, let's get after it a few times.
That'd be hard to be leaving town and also doing like a sober streak at the same time.
I mean, I did the couple hardest parts of it so far. ACL, full weekend ACL, and Texas OU weekend up in Dallas, which it's not that hard. I found it very enjoyable, approaching it from a different frame of mind. Being able to drive to places and not have to worry about not being able to drive. Driving to the fair. If I was going to the state fair to go watch the Texas OU game and I was gonna drink a bunch, that'd be a big problem. I'd have to, because my family's house is 45 minutes from there. And Uber would be outrageous. I mean, I could just Uber, but it just shouldn't, it's just a pain. So, I mean, that was nice. But, I mean, I just really wanted to give up. Like, I don't drink that often in general. Like, it's really like a weekly, like a once a week probably type of thing. Like, go out with some buddies. Usually not. I've cut out a lot of negative behavior that I've, like, last time I was on that point, I was definitely like, even then it was a lot better than what it was in college. Like, I was definitely degenerate in college. But now it's like, it's definitely a lot better. But still, like, one hangover a weekend, if I get to that point, like, that'll throw off my whole next day hardcore. It was really like I wanted to give up hangovers for this next month and a half because I was just like, October's the worst month to do sober October. Like, it's terrible, especially in Austin. You've got ACL, and as a UT fan, you got Texas OU. Then this weekend is Texas, Georgia, and F1, which I don't go to any F1 stuff, but Texas, Georgia, this is going to be a big game. That's today. And then next weekend, like Halloween. So it's like the worst month to do it, which is kind of why I wanted to do it. I was like, there's ample reasons to just kind of lean into something that's hard and just do it. But it's my life and I can do what I want. And I was like, dude, last month in Austin, like, I'm still going to keep it to like, like the point of it was really to more like, if it's like a weekday and like some buddies want to go grab a beer or something like that, like I usually don't. Like my weekdays are very, like Monday through Thursday are very, I kind of just don't do anything usually. Like I'll go to the gym, and I was playing soccer. But like I keep those really strictly like work days, and then but the weekend, like, it's just very easy for like a few beers to get casually brought in, and for me it's honestly like the calories. Like that's been the biggest benefit of not drinking, is just like not having to worry about the calories as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hangovers are really like, because it'll hit me hard even if I don't really drink that much. Like I can tell it's just straight poison for sure. My body doesn't like it.
Mine neither.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm still gonna keep it pretty chill for the rest of the month, but definitely want to have like a couple more bangers of a night.
Yeah.
Get into some shit, because I haven't in a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
For good reason. It doesn't need to get crazy, but it can get kind of crazy.
And I don't know about you too, but when I drink, I also get like the drinking munchies, where it's like, let's stop at a food truck on the way home, and then you demolish like 3 hot dogs or wherever it is you stop. And then I get home and I'm like,
what do we
I'm wide awake. And before you know it, I'm breaking into the pistachios and the Cheez-Its and the ice cream.
Ooh.
And then I wake up the
Pistachios
next
are
morning
dangerous.
and I don't just feel hungover, but I feel it in my belly too.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And then I'll drink a bunch of coffee, take a massive dump, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I feel a little bit better now. But then I'll even go to the gym, and I'll notice, like, I'll be trying to work out, my head will be throbbing, like every rep, my head's just like boom. And then I'll be like, all right, let's go get in the sauna. And I can't even get a good sauna session in, because if I didn't drink the night before, I don't want to say it's easy, but I can easily knock out like 25 to 30 minutes in the sauna. But if you go in there when you're hungover thinking it's going to be some sort of hangover cure,
Dehydrated.
you're just so dehydrated that the heat hits you immediately. And you're just like, I actually don't want to be in here right now.
Yeah. I get really nauseous the next day. Like, that's the worst part for me. I like the thought of an immediate workout or something like that, or like drinking coffee. It sounds horrible. Like, I I don't know if it's like it kind of makes me jittery or what, but like caffeine kind of has an association with like slight nausea in my head. Like if I'm nauseous, it does not make it better. And then, I mean, I don't know. Waking up full would be ass, because I like my cure is always some type of food. Like I always want soup, like a pho or ramen.
Yes.
Like there's a ramen spot across the
Now
street
we're
from me.
talking.
It's so good. Marufuku ramen, shout out. I'm gonna actually keep gatekeeping it, but I mean, hey, I'll be gone by the time this is out. So
Right.
I want to go there a couple times before I leave.
A couple times.
Dude, that's my favorite
I know where you're going to
restaurant.
be hanging out the next month.
Oh, dude, yeah.
3 weeks.
It's just across the street from my apartment. It's so good. But yeah, like the broth, I don't know. For some reason, food is like associated with the cure. Like, and if I wake up like a mess, then it's kind of fun. It's kind of like a fun little bit. Like you're just like, today's kind of fucked. I can go do whatever I want.
In a way, yeah.
And
yeah,
it's
totally.
Always so funny. Like the whole, I used to have just this, I mean, I still will do it. I'll just scream help in public. But like, that whole bit started because me and my buddy got together after a night out, going to link up with our buddies for like a brunch or something like that. And he was driving, and he drove us, and I was in the passenger seat, and we were both just like, we were just feeling it, and everything was just funny. We were just joking about how like in the gutter we were. And I just look out the window, our windows are down, and someone's like riding a bike, and someone's like walking, and I'm just like, help me, help, like screaming at these people.
Did they respond?
They were just like, what? Like, they were like, what's going on? And I'm just like making it look like my buddy's kidnapping me. And I don't know, that kind of stuff I think is just so funny. Like,
that's sort of dangerous in Texas, though. What if they all pulled out a couple guns and started shooting at you? Not you, but like at the car tires or something.
That'd be crazy. I think in Austin you don't have to worry about that as much, especially downtown. I think people are afraid of everything. But no, I don't know. That would be a problem. That would be if I got his car shot at from my silly little prank.
Antics.
Yeah, that'd be a problem.
The Scheerle shenanigans.
Scheerle shenanigans.
I'm curious to see how today goes because I forget if I told you, I've been off pre-workout since November.
Okay.
And then last Sunday, I woke up and I felt great. I had some decaf in the pantry. So I was like, I still want coffee, but I don't want caffeinated. So I've been drinking decaf every morning this week. So
is that decaf?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not for you. And I was looking forward to today. I was like, all right, caffeinated coffee again. This will be good. But I know it's only been 6 days, which isn't a huge deal.
Yeah.
But still, like, I think I'm just going to be wired the rest of the day. But we'll see.
Do you, how have you felt the difference? Has it felt noticeably different?
Not really. I noticed I think it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
I felt like I hit a wall. Like I had a great day. I was very productive, but the entire day, I took my first nap in forever. I can't sleep if the sun's up. And for my lunch break, I was just like, I need to sleep.
Yeah.
So I went to my room, pulled the blackout curtain, shut the door, brought the dog in with me, and we just napped for an hour. And that helped a lot. But I could just tell, like, I am exhausted.
Yeah.
So that was the one difference. It threw my bathroom schedule off, too, because usually I'll drink, and then I have to go to the bathroom, like, right away.
Yeah.
Like, there's one night this week I had to go at, like, 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, this is weird. Why am I pooping at 11? So it threw off my bathroom schedule, but really nothing outside of that. And so I figured I might just keep going with it. Just for me personally, it's like if I can operate for a week without any form of caffeine, why am I bothered drinking it?
Yeah.
Even the coffee is more of just it's a ritual. You know, you wake up, especially now that it's fall, it's cooling down a little bit. Let's fire up the fucking coffee pot. Have some coffee. Tastes good. Feels good.
I think the ritualistic aspect is really important. Like those little things in my life I really like less of the outcome of the caffeine and more of like the idea of what that means. Like kind of helps me focus if I usually wait till like a few hours after I wake up to have some coffee. And I'll always make a cup and then I only drink like half of it throughout the day. And then I pour the rest into like a little glass, either jar or cup in my fridge. Then I'll drink that one cold the next day. So it's like I'll drink a hot coffee one day and then a cold one and then a hot one and then a cold one. It drove my old roommate insane when I would put the glass of coffee in the fucking fridge.
Why?
I don't know. I don't get why. He was a very clean guy, and I'm a clean guy too. But I use things differently than he would, and I didn't have a problem with like leaving something open in the fridge temporarily if I had a plan for it. Like if I knew I was gonna take it out soon, or like I didn't really mind. Like I don't know. I'm very comfortable and familiar with everything in the kitchen with cooking, and I have a method to my madness. I'll do something for a reason, but he didn't like having things like open, unsealed in the fridge, which most of the time they weren't, but he didn't like having the coffee open, either at risk of it spilling out, or I don't know if he thought it was like getting contamination into the fridge or something. But yeah, he would like talk shit to my buddy about it. He was like, fucking. And I'm talking about Preston right now. It's my dog. I love that guy. But I knew it bothered him. So, but now that I have my own place, I'm like, I'm gonna put this fucking open cup of coffee in the fridge, no problem.
That's so funny because it's not like it's an onion or because onions smell.
Which
Or
is something
like
I would leave out, honestly.
And you don't even put them in like a little Tupperware, so it saves
I
a little
usually
longer.
do, but like I have left them just kind of out if I'm planning to use it like the next
You're
day
going to use it,
something.
yeah.
Yeah,
Or like moldy food.
that's a problem.
Like my very last roommates before I started living alone, that was one thing is they would sometimes make food on like a Tuesday, but then they wouldn't clean it out until it got really bad. And so it'd be like the following Thursday, and there'd be this chicken in there with this substance growing on it. It's just like, guys, what are you doing? Get this out of here.
Oh, like the leftovers?
Yeah.
Interesting. Dude, I'll let some leftovers hang out for a little bit, dude.
Until they're molding?
Not molding, but
Okay.
I mean, in my head, it takes a long time for them to mold. Like Tuesday to Thursday, that's quick. I'll do that.
No, like 9 days.
Oh,
I'm talking
yeah.
like the following Thursday.
that's a problem. Yeah,
and
you
it's
shouldn't
starting to
do
get like, there's maybe not a ton, but you can see like that white fur, or, just like, you're like, once it starts growing stuff, you're like, this isn't a garden up in here. This is our refrigerator. This is our shared space for good, clean food.
Yeah, nah. That was an area we both had differing views too, is because like anything older than like a day or two, he was always like, yeah, I'm not eating that. He'd be like, is this bad? I'm like, when you make it? He's like, yesterday. I'm like, dude, nah. And he would like look at stuff and he'd be like, well, it's definitely not better today than it was yesterday. So and he just wouldn't eat it. And it was fine. I didn't care. I mean, I ended up eating a lot of his groceries because of that, because I was like, dude, you're not going to eat this. I know it. I was like, this is too late.
Is he that guy that goes to Costco and the way, when you go to Costco, everything looks good.
Yeah.
The way they display it's like, oh, I want that bag of apples. That's going to be nice and healthy. I want that pie. I'm going to buy this 3-pack of ground beef. And it's like it's almost like the New Year's resolutioners, where they go out and they're like, I'm going to get my Whoop. I'm going to get my new clothes. I'm going to get my gym membership. I'm going to get my personal trainer. And then they spend all this money and they never use any of it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of Costco shoppers where they go there with great intentions.
Yeah.
And then anything that's not that can't last forever, like Pine Sol or laundry detergent or garbage bags, like any food that they get.
Yeah.
At least this was my roommates. They would use it all like day one. They'd be like cooking all fucking day.
Yeah.
And then day two, they might still be on a little bit of a kick, but most of it they would just end up throwing out, or I would eat it because I'm like, guys, this is a lot of really good food right here.
Yeah, so everything he would buy at Costco was hyper processed. Like it would last for 100 years, I think, on its own.
Was it like a lot of frozen stuff?
Yeah, a lot of like pre-done frozen stuff. I'm putting him on blast.
Sorry,
Preston. Sorry, P-Man. No, it was funny because, well, the biggest problem I had with it was he would get the desserts. And I am such a dessert fiend, like a coffee cake or like a thing of like blueberry lemon loaf from Costco. And you're reading the ingredients. It's like soybean oil, red 40, yellow 5, blue 3.
Like, is there food in this?
Yeah. Enriched, bleached flour or whatever. But oh my God, I'll tank those. And so he wouldn't actually get much stuff that would go bad. I think they would maybe get some like lettuce, and he would...
some lettuce.
Yeah, that would maybe go bad because he wasn't really like a kind of guy who would eat a vegetable or something of the sorts. Really just a really big tan food guy.
Tan food?
Yeah,
like breads, chicken.
Yeah, things like
brownies. Is that tan? Or not brownies, like chocolate chip cookie, any kind of cookie.
Yeah, it's pretty tan. I mean, he really liked like halal food, like and I say that not as like actual halal food, but like you go to Halal Bros or Halal Guys, like the chicken rice gyro box. But like a lot of the type of shit that I would eat or cook, he'd be like, he was always just like, bro, what the fuck is that? I'd pull up with like some stuffed grape leaves. You know what those are? It's like a Mediterranean type of Middle Eastern food. They're called dolmas too. They're either stuffed with like a meat or rice, seasoned rice. They're delicious. But they're kind of and I see why people wouldn't like them or think they're weird. Or like I would come home with, my groceries are always goofy. It'd be like a thing full of apples, 5 pounds of ground beef, like a block of Parmesan, a thing of olives, some sauerkraut, and then like a tub of blueberries. And he'd be like, bro, what are you gonna eat this week? He's like, no sides, no. I'm like, well, we got rice. I got a bunch of frozen veggies in the fridge. I'm like, this is all I need this week. Just some fucking meat and some fruit and some. It'd be like a stick of butter.
One stick.
Yeah, which I don't eat that much butter. I just happen to have butter, but yeah, the sauerkraut I'd eat. He'd always be like, dude, he'd see me buy like 4 bags of this because HEB makes like raw sauerkraut, and this comes in a bag, and he'd see the 4 bags pop up in the fridge, and he'd just be like, oh shit, here we go again. He's like, these are gonna be here for a few days, thinking like I'm taking a real estate, and I'm like, hey, watch your fucking mouth. I'm gonna eat it. I would eat it.
Like eating it out of principle at that point.
Yeah.
I keep a thing of kimchi in the fridge, and I snack on that.
Nice.
I think it's good. I like kimchi.
Yeah.
I'll throw it in some homemade poke bowls, which I sort of started doing because of you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been doing them as much lately, but I've been on a poke bowl kick for like a year now.
What were you using as your meat?
Tuna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you cooking it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd sear it so the middle was still pretty raw.
Yeah.
And then my favorite items are like edamame, some pineapple, some kimchi, some sliced red onion, and then some fried onion flakes. Just the kind you get as like a salad topping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like pickled red onions. I like doing those. I haven't done that in actually a really long time, but I used to always have like a jar full of them that I'd make in the fridge.
When I was at HEB recently, I always try to make small talk with the scanners, the tellers, the cashiers. Thank you. Just because it's fun and they seem to appreciate it. Most of them like light up when you use your name. You're like, hey, Jack, how's your day going?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yours. Anyways, this one lady, I asked her, I was like, do you ever make assumptions about people based off what they're buying? And at the moment she was ringing up this like pound of, or this bag, probably like 7-pound bag of oranges. I have this fruit presser now that I got since I saw you.
Nice.
And I'll make like mocktails and stuff. And instead of answering the question, she was just like, well, these oranges are the best oranges that HEB sells. They're so sweet and they're so good and they're the perfect snack. And it was just really funny to me how she dodged the question. Because in my head, I was like, the answer is yes.
The answer is
like,
yes, and you're the fucking orange guy. You're like, holy shit, what do you need all these oranges for?
Yeah. She didn't ask, but if I told her, I was like, I'm going to press them, fresh made orange juice.
Yeah.
With some Eggo waffles, get the stomach burning nice. Yeah. It's not a good mix, but I like it.
Oh, it is nice.
It always tastes good going down until 30 minutes later, and you're just like, syrup and fresh squeezed orange juice is not a mix.
I think it's an excellent mix. I think it's just the blood sugar crash that's going to happen in 45 minutes to an hour is the problem.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I feel like made you real hit the wall that one day. When
on Wednesday?
Yeah.
I think I did have waffles that morning too. Decaf coffee, some waffles, and just exhaustion. I've noticed too, I thought I was going to sleep better, and I did. Last night I slept like a baby.
Yeah.
Thursday night I think I did too. But Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was having some wild dreams. Could have been completely coincidence, but I also didn't change anything else in my daily habits.
Yeah.
But I was having these weird nightmares. I was tossing and turning all night. I don't know, man. Who knows? Could have been the weather changing.
Could be. I don't know. Yeah, maybe your body. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's possible. It might throw off something.
Yeah.
Your circadian rhythm. That's something I wish I knew a little more about. Or did more for. I wish I was better about seeing the sun. Ever.
You get out that much?
Dude, honestly, no. And I live on the first floor.
You work from home?
Yeah. I can walk out into the grass steps away. The problem is, that was my plan when I got this floor unit. And then I found out that the little courtyard that I'm facing is just full of dog piss and shit. Like that's where everyone in the apartment complex in the surrounding units just takes their dogs. And so like I was like, oh, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna be barefoot in the grass, get some grounding in for the day, get my sunlight in the morning. And then I did that the first day. I was like, nah, I don't think I should do that. I don't think I should do this again.
Does your grandparents' place have a nice yard or backyard?
Yes, it does.
You think you'll get some more sunlight living there for a little bit?
Yeah. Problem is it's gonna be December and November, but it'll be okay. No, when I was home just this last weekend, I was I was making use of that for sure. I think my grandparents think I'm fucking weird. I'll like walk out there, take my shirt off, and just stare at the sun. I'll close my eyes, but I'll just like stand there and photosynthesize for like 5 minutes. And then I'll come in and I'll start going through their pantry, and I'm like, throw this shit away. What is this? Get rid of this. What are we doing, guys? And they're like, yeah, good to see you. I was telling them, I was like, I know y'all are so excited for me to move back in. They are. But I'm like, we're going to see how long that lasts, how pleased y'all are to have me, because I come back with my ideas about the way things should work. And they're like, who's this guy that's only been around 24 years coming to tell us how we should live?
But here's the thing. If you're just going out and photosynthesizing every morning for a few minutes and they think that's a little weird, like, whatever, fuck them, you know, or not.
Oh, yeah,
no
no,
disrespect, grandma and grandpa. But like the pantry thing's a little wild because that is their home.
Yeah, no, and I don't actually go and throw stuff away, but I start going through and I'm like, are y'all aware of like how fucking terrible all of this is?
What's the worst thing that was in their pantry when you went there last weekend?
All of it. I mean, just shit ton of like I'm you know, you can and you know, this is a very popular topic to be anti things like vegetable oils, canola oils, all those things. I do believe that those are not good for you. I think they're quite bad, and I don't touch them. And I think it's a very easy swap that you can make to remove those from your diet, especially within your own home. Like, I don't think you should be cooking with vegetable oil. If you're going to go out to eat, everything is going to be cooked in it anyway. Like, at least control what's within your own home. So it's like easy substitutions like that. Like I bought them a bunch of like olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. And I was like, I'm going to throw away all the other shit. And my grandma was like, no, you're not. You are not touching that. I used that. I was like, no, you don't need to. You can use these other things. She's like, well, certain recipes call for it. I was like, it doesn't matter. You don't have to use fucking vegetable oil or canola oil because it says in the recipe. That's some mom who's a blogger who you're listening to. Like, nothing's real. But beyond that, like, I don't know, just a bunch of processed, like, little crackers and stuff and, like, shit ton of cakes and cookies in the oven. Like, we use the oven to store all the baked goods that we buy at Costco.
Oh, interesting.
Sam's. And then, you know, we pull them out whenever we need to use the oven. But they don't use the oven all that often, like probably maybe once or twice a week or I don't know how often. But just all that kind of shit. I'm just like, guys, we got to get rid of this. And my grandparents are pretty young. I think my grandma is 65, and my grandpa is a few years older than her. And then my mom is like, how old am I? 24. My mom is 45. My family's pretty young, and I'm like, I want to have kids at some point. I want my grandparents to be around for that. I need them to be around. I've never experienced really like any family death yet. I've been very fortunate to have all my family around me. It's a pretty small family anyway. And I'm like, guys, we gotta start exercising a little bit. Like we can't be eating this all the time. I mean, yeah, everything they eat is it's bad. It's not good. It's like boomer, you know, Midwest. Just when they were growing up, all the innovations and technology and, oh, try this new food substitute, this butter substitute. This is X amount less cholesterol. Like, you should eat, can't believe it's not butter. And I'm like, guys, just get some normal butter, please. We don't need to be eating Crisco fucking vegetable oil butter.
The only butter I use is if it comes from a whipped cream can.
A whip what?
The caffeine's already, I can't even talk. Whipped cream. You know, like the spray it on?
Yeah.
That's what I use.
They make that butter?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, yes, they do make it, but I've never used it. It's just like seeing butter come from a spray can is like, I think that's one of the more wild food inventions.
Does it look like whipped cream? Like it's kind of
sort of
light and whipped?
It's just yellow. It's more yellow, but even the top, like the nozzle is the same, like with the spiky. So it comes out. It literally looks like whipped cream. I bet you that's what they use at like restaurant, like breakfast diners, where it comes out looking like that perfect plop with like the lines in it. It's not that the chef is just that good at getting it out with the spoon. Like you putting that in a whipped cream bottle.
You can make, yeah. You can do that. And I wouldn't even, what they're selling at the store is probably not good, but you could do that legit. Like if you just whip butter and get it light, and then just because you're applying like CO2 or whatever's making it pop out. I don't even know what it is. What do people take? people do whippets. What is that shit? Is that CO2? In
I
a
don't
little
know.
Canister.
I think so, probably.
It's not nitrous, I don't think, or nitrogen. I don't know. I'm stupid, but
Do not say that, Jackson. You are not stupid. I have a funny story for you about one of my mom's favorite recipes when we were growing up as kids. It's almost like a beef stroganoff, but not really. So what she would do is she'd get some ground beef, throw it in a pan with some vegetable oil.
Yeah.
She'd chop up some onions real nice and fine, chuck those in.
Yeah.
Get some mushrooms, chop those up, throw those in. And then, this is where it gets interesting. She would get out a couple like family-sized cans of cream of mushroom soup, pour those in there, get out a whole thing of sour cream, throw that in there, stir it all up, get it nice and warm. And then she'd put it in a 9x13 pan, turn the oven on to 350, just cover the top with cheddar cheese. So you can't even see the quote unquote casserole anymore.
Yeah.
And she'd throw it in the oven and take it out like 30 minutes later after it sort of was nice and crispy on top. But, as a kid, and even today, like every now and then I'll go home.
Noodles or something?
And noodles, thank you. I forgot about that. She'll boil some of those like egg noodles.
Yeah.
And
I think that sounds delicious. And we grew up eating stroganoff too. So.
It's so good. But I remember as adults, one time my brother was like, "What were you doing eating cream of mushroom soup mixed with ground beef?" I'm like, hey man,
That actually sounds
don't knock the
good.
beef and noodle casserole.
Yeah, bro. I like some cream and mushroom soup. I think that's delicious.
If you throw a little potluck before you go, that's what I'm gonna bring.
Ooh,
Bring a beef and noodle casserole.
oh, that's a good idea. My new apartment's too small.
Do it at Zilker. Why don't you have a little picnic? Be like, hey, everyone, on November 4th, 2 to 5 p.m., I'll be hanging out at Zilker. Bring some food. Come hang out. Say see you later.
That's not a bad idea. That does restrict you to the types of food you can bring a little bit. I mean, I
Just
guess
a teeny bit.
Yeah, I used to host a bunch of dinner parties like that. Honestly, I can't remember when my last one was probably before I came on your podcast the last time.
This is a long time.
I know. I don't know if I've really done one in the last year, but we used to do like I mean, a couple of them I cooked everything. Like I did a Mediterranean night, and I wildly underestimated how difficult that was going to be to cook for like an unknown quantity of people. Because like event planning is stressful when you're like, I don't know how, like you're trying to figure out, I don't want to invite too many people. And then come the day, you're like, oh shit, I don't know if anyone's going to show up. Like I think and then you're like, okay, like, is it going to be 10 people? Is it going to be 25? I don't know. Are these people going to bring food? Or are they going to bring and so you're like I'd always try and undershoot it. And then like come the day, I'd start last minute inviting people. I'm like trying to pump the numbers up. And then I'm like, oh shit, are we going to have too many people? And having to cook for that many people was way harder than I expected. Like, 20 people's worth of chicken and like different sides and shit. And like, it was all Mediterranean food that I did.
Is your kitchen much bigger than mine?
My current one, no. It's,
And that's hard.
yeah.
I had just like 7 people over once.
Yeah.
And when you only have one chopping block and then you can sort of put the food once it's done up on the bar, but when you're in the middle of cooking everything,
Yeah.
this is a pain in the butt.
Yeah. I have an island, which helps. That's where I could like put things when they're done. But I don't have a table. I don't have, I don't have a lot of room anymore. It used to be, I mean, my old apartment was a little bigger and that had enough room to do things. But yeah, space gets tricky.
I was thinking about, the reason I asked you if you were going to still be here for Thanksgiving is I was going to ask my neighbors if on Thanksgiving Day, if they would care if I sort of took over this little landing and then try to get a hold of a couple of those like 8-foot long breakdown tables.
Yeah.
And just put like one table on either side of the wall, leave the fucking door open, and then just invite. I have a bunch of friends that moved to Austin.
Oh, nice.
And since they're going home for either like Christmas or New Year's, they end up sort of sticking around for Thanksgiving.
Right.
And they don't have any plans. So I was thinking about doing like an open house potluck where I would provide like the main course, which will be ham. I don't like turkey.
Okay.
And like a few sides, and then just doing like an open house sorts where people could just like stop in and hang out for the day, play board games, and just have like a really chill sort of Friendsgiving, but on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I think I might do it. We'll see.
I think that'd be awesome. That'd be a very fun thing to do.
You know what was weird about the last potluck I went to? It said they sent out like a little digital invitation, and it said in there, like, and this is, I wonder if this has happened to you. This has happened to me multiple times. It says in there, like, we'll provide a main course, but this is a potluck, so bring some food. And this one even said, we would prefer if you brought something homemade, but if you're not a cook or you don't like cooking and you just pick up something from the store, we're good with that. Mm-hmm. Out of the 33 people that attended, I think me and one other person brought homemade food.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know if it's just because like people don't like cooking, and even of those 33, maybe only like 5 to 10 even picked up something from the store. I'm like, guys, like, what do you think all this food was just going to magically appear for you, or what's going on here?
Yeah, that's I haven't been to that many potlucks. I actually went to one a few months ago, and I did. The worst thing in a potluck is when you bring something and it kind of sucks ass, and like you really put some effort into it, and it's kind of circumstances out of your control that it sucked. Like, for example, I did a baked feta dish. It was a very creative dish. I think it would make for an excellent pie. It was because I really like doing like cheese and then something sweet, like a fruity sweet situation. So it was finely chopped up apples, cinnamon, honey, and then I think like I did some cloves and anise, and then some frozen blueberries with a block of feta over top, and it was fantastic right out of the oven. Amazing. A few hours later, the feta had like really hardened up.
Oh no.
And it just didn't.
Oh no.
It didn't spread. It was still good, but it wasn't the same dish. And I was just like, this is so disappointing. Like, this was a great idea. I mean, if this was served at a restaurant, it would fucking kill. But that was sad. I was like, dang. But I think it would make for an excellent pie. You do, like, even the feta, that's kind of a crazy one to do for a pie. Like, that's really strong, salty cheese. But if you did, like, little blocks of it mixed in with the fruit, and, like, it's just out of the oven, like, warm. Like, some warm feta gets, like, a totally different texture than when it's cold. It's so nice. And I think there's the way that salt is affected by heat. I don't remember what it is. I think it's when it's colder, you notice the salt more. Like... And so when it's hotter, maybe, I don't know, I might have that backwards, but I think that's what it was. And so, like, I was listening to someone talk about, like, working in the kitchen, salting soups, like broths and stuff like that. And, like, at different temperatures, it would have you would notice it would be more salty or less salty. I don't know. It's interesting.
You just reminded me of two things. One, whenever I watch Top Chef, it's one of like my guilty pleasure shows. I'll usually turn on when I'm cooking, and they'll just say some stuff where they're like, "Oh, you can't do that because it does this to the salt," and I'm just like mind blown. Like, how do you know that? Yeah. How do you have this knowledge? The other thing I was thinking of, though, in hindsight, when you're talking about like circumstances and food, a couple of my friends just moved here from New York, and they had a little housewarming party and asked everyone to bring some food with them. And I knew that my buddy's girlfriend is like a sucker for deviled eggs. Ooh. And another one of my buddies that was going to be there too loves deviled eggs. In hindsight, I should have boiled the eggs and just brought everything with me and fixed them up there. But what I did instead was I prepped them here, put them on this tray, covered them in foil, and then I put them on the floor in front of the passenger seat in the car.
So they wouldn't like fall over or something. Right. Yeah.
So then Thad's sitting on the passenger seat, and we're driving there, and this car in front of me does this very like manic swerve. Yeah. Where at first I'm thinking, "Oh, who's this asshole?" You know, like why did you have to be so dramatic about that? And then all of a sudden, in front of me, someone's bumper had fallen off their car, and they just left it there. Yeah. So very instinctually, look in my blind spot, no one's there. I do the same thing the other driver just did. Yeah. It throws the dog like off of the seat, and his back just lands on the plate of eggs. No. So then we get there and we pull the foil off, and half the deviled egg part was just stuck to the foil. All the egg whites were smashed. It just looked gross. And everyone there, though, like deviled eggs so much, what everyone ended up doing was just grabbing like forks and spoons and sort of picked it all off. So most of it got ate, but it just looked disgusting. You know?
Well, at that point, you take it and you put it in a big bowl and you kind of chop it up and you do deviled egg salad, and then you serve it over some crackers or something like that.
Yeah, I should. Like I said, hindsight 2020, I did everything wrong.
Well, that's a hard one too. You got to that's when something I have not done and won't, I mean, I don't know, but you got to prepare for shit. Like for something like that to do it right, you would need like one of those bags and pipettes, like for cupcakes, which I'm not getting caught dead doing. I mean, that's just such a pain. But like, it's not even that hard. You just need you would have to think about it and like do it.
Yeah.
And then, like, I've never done that. Anything where it's like decorating like that. Like, I've never bought cheesecloth. I never have cheesecloth or string. And like sometimes I'm doing something where it's like I would like to have that. Like if I'm making like a broth or something, I'm gonna filter. Like I made a bone broth this week because I haven't had chicken bones. I'd never done that before, and I just used the sieve like a filter, but there's still got like things went through it. And I was like, man, it'd be nice to have cheesecloth. And anytime I've gone to HEB, like I want to get cheesecloth, the people in there are like, yeah, it might be over there, but like I don't think we have it. And I will go look, and they don't have it. And I'm like, where do I get it? Where do I have to do it? I could just buy it on Amazon easily, and it would be here tomorrow. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to go buy that today, and then I don't know when the next time I'm going to need it is.
Right.
It's just simple things like that. I don't know.
One of my friends right now is developing an app that will guide people. So you put in your whole shopping list.
Yeah.
And then it guides you through the store. And part of it is so you don't forget anything. So you don't make it all the way to the dairy section. Then you're like, fuck, I forgot onions. And then you're going all the way to the other side of the store. That's one reason he's making it. The second reason he's making it is because apparently, and I don't know how much truth there is to this, Instacart shoppers always go to the cold section first. He's like, the first thing they grab is meats. So then they're going backtrack into the vegetable section, and they're going through the pantry stuff, but they get all the cold items first.
Yeah.
And he doesn't understand why. But then the problem is not only are they sitting there while they're shopping then for all the non-cold items, that doesn't matter if they're in the fridge or not, but then you got to drive them home, and by the time they get to your front door, you have this meat that's now been out for like an hour, which still usable, no big deal. But apparently this is a problem that he is on a mission to solve.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is a good problem to solve, I think.
I just don't get why people would go to the back of the store and get the meat first. Like if one guy, or like there's a, 5% of Instacart shoppers who are doing this, I'd be like, all right, whatever. But apparently this is like, according to him, a very common issue that they go to the cold section first.
That's fascinating. I didn't know that.
Me neither.
I don't know why they would do that. I don't know if it's just quicker somehow, but I don't know. Maybe because meats are usually the heavier items, so they can put them at the bottom of their bag.
Maybe.
I don't know if they bring in their little cooler bags with them and then they load it up. But, well, that doesn't make sense because you got to check out, too. Like, you can't just walk out. So, I don't know.
I have a good dessert for you. It's not mine. The same potluck I went to, I mentioned where, like, no one brought anything. The guy that made the main course and, like, a couple sides, he he got dates, pitted dates.
Ooh.
And he stuffed them with goat cheese.
Okay.
I think he just, like, put them in the oven, or somehow he heated them up. I don't know if it was a microwave oven, air fryer, who knows. Just 2 ingredients. Have you ever had these?
No. I love dates, though.
Jack, they were so good.
Yeah.
I popped like 7 of them. I couldn't stop eating them.
Oh, my God. I'm going to freak out.
The next time that you need, not even need, that you want a fruit with a cheese, try dates and goat cheese.
Ooh, and that's like the base for potentially a totally fire dessert. Like if you wanted to incorporate it into a pastry or a pie or something. I'm thinking like you could even put some honey on there. Dude, that'd be so good. I love dates. You could stuff them with butter and salt, and it's good.
Yeah.
Like dark chocolate and butter, like a little bit of butter.
Ooh, never done that before.
Me and my buddy did it. People kind of popularized it online because it's like Whole Foods. Like they're real ingredients, but I mean it's still very high calorie to eat that. Dates are amazing. They also, you will know if I've eaten them and you're around me because I don't know if this is for everyone, but the farts that you let out after eating dates are so bad.
Really?
Dude, it's like, it's so bad. I mean, it is tremendously just like rank smelling. Like, I don't know what it is, bro. Whatever, the fiber, insoluble fiber in there or whatever, but.
You know how they say beans make you toot?
Yeah.
We went to whatever Mexican food truck is right outside of Cosmic off of Pickle Road where the Crux Climbing Center is.
Okay.
There's a couple food trucks in there, and I got a taco plate with some rice and beans, and those beans mess me. Like, beans don't always get me,
Yeah.
but I was driving home that night, just like farting like crazy. Yeah, it was really quick. Couldn't, maybe not the beans, but dude, it was just like, what is, maybe is also part of the, like, the no caffeine thing. Who knows? Who knows? I just know that was a very stinky night.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can attribute it to was those damn beans.
Damn beans, bro.
Dates, though, those are, that gets you, huh?
Yeah.
I won't feed you dates if you come back. I'll wait till we're at Zilker. You come over with just a bag of dates that you're popping in.
Coming over with a loaded gun, bro.
A buddy of mine came through in June, and about halfway through the podcast, I had this bag of popcorn that I got from Costco. I was like, dude, you want to snack on some popcorn for the rest of the episode? And he said, sure. So I get us both a bowl. And at one point, we're just talking, eating popcorn. And he goes to throw some popcorn in his mouth. And he misses. And it rolls down his chin. And he's like, oh, fuck. He goes and gets it. So the episode goes live. And this was like an hour and 40 minutes into the episode that this happened.
Yeah.
And someone made a comment. And they were like, this episode was really good until you guys decided to be the most unprofessional podcasters on planet Earth, and you were shoveling popcorn into your mouths like hunter-gatherers. I just had to click off. I couldn't watch it anymore.
Is it because of the sound of eating in the mic?
You couldn't even hear it.
You couldn't?
No.
Oh. The unprofessional comment is hilarious.
Like, dude, it's me and Sutton. Like, it's me and Jack. Like, we're not trying to be professional. I mean, like, yeah, I try to make it a professional setup, but I'm not.
Yeah, we're both wearing the same shirt.
I'm not like fucking, who's the guy that lives here? Not Huberman, not Joe. He's a pretty big podcaster.
Lex Friedman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, if this was Lex Friedman, that might be a little different. If Lex got out a bowl of popcorn, like, that might not really be on brand for him.
I mean, even Joe, they ordered the fucking pizza, and him and Elon did a podcast, like, I don't even know, like a year or two ago. Probably like within the last year, maybe.
Well, and they're drinking and they're smoking and they're hanging out. Like, I'm like, dude, what do you want from me? Like, if you don't, I mean, like, good. I'm glad you clicked off. But also, what a weird thing to comment. It's just like, how dare you eat popcorn?
That's funny. And the videos, you don't have the videos on Spotify, right? It's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching the YouTube one last night.
Did it bring back any memories?
Yeah, I remember being astonishingly hungover that morning and being weird.
Yet we still had a great time.
We did have a good time. It was fun.
Two weirdos make a good podcast.
I just remember watching the beginning of it, and I was like, I feel like it looks like I have Botox because my face is just like not moving.
Dude, when I'm lining up the video to the audio, there are some people where it's so easy to line it up real quick.
Yeah.
And then other people, I don't even know if I can do it. Their lips almost don't move, and so you don't really have anything. So I'm almost waiting for like someone to set a cup down or some sort of marker where I'm like, I need something to line it up to because their mouth is doing nothing for me right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think this also helps. Like, we're both kind of, I don't know. I'm a lot more turned out this way. Like last time, the way the table
You're
was,
sort of forced to watch each other.
Yeah, this did take some adjusting.
You think it's more comfy? Not comfy like, oh, my butt's more comfortable, but comfortable in the sense of like, I don't know. So. I felt like the table was too formal, and I want this to feel very relaxed.
Yeah, I think it is. I was trying to figure out which I liked more right at the beginning. Something about having something to kind of like, I don't know. I do shit with my hands when I talk, but I don't know why having a table would benefit that.
Because I don't even think you used it that much. Like, it's not like you were leaning on it or holding on to the legs. You know, I think you were just sitting back and had your hands next to you.
I was doing this a lot. I was kind of just folded into a.
You were also sweating a lot more.
Yeah.
You're not sweating today, or I just can't see it because you wore an all black shirt.
I'm not sweating. Yo, that was like, I didn't know you back then. I mean, like I feel like we're homies now. Like,
I do too.
Yeah. Back then I didn't know what to expect. I was like, I wasn't really like that nervous, but I was definitely like kind of like, I was like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to do, what to talk about. What's this gonna be like? And then it was also hot as shit. It was like mid-June.
Yeah.
So right now it was pretty cool this morning.
Yeah.
Almost cold for Texan. It's like 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Fucking chilly.
People are getting out their hoodies. It's not 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets down to 88 and you're like, oh my gosh, I need a jacket.
Dude, that's why I like having people back, is
Yeah.
because not everyone, but there's a good handful of people I've been trying to get back on just because, well, what you just said, I feel like it's not to say the first one was bad or anything. It was great. I loved it. But yeah, it's just cool having people back because it does feel different. Like we're not strangers anymore. We've hung out a few times.
Yeah.
You haven't been back to the Golds and Bee Cave, but that's okay.
You're right. I took the exit to Bee Cave today. I was almost more late than I was. I was going to swing by my buddy's hotel because he has a shirt for me that I'm going to wear to the game today. And I thought I routed it to his location, and it took me to some weird fucking neighborhood. And I was just like, bro, where am I? And then he's like, I already left. Like, just come get it after the game. Like, I gave it to the front desk, and come get it after your podcast. I left it at the front desk already. And I was like, oh, dude, why didn't I think of that? I was like, I was thinking I was going to go get it from him, even though I knew he had already left. But so I'm going to go do that after this.
You want me to heat that up for you?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I don't mind cold coffee. I like all the ranges. I honestly, when I order coffee, like at a coffee shop, I'm like, can you put an ice cube in it?
Really?
When it's too hot, it burns my tongue. Like, I don't like too hot of coffee.
And you have to, and then you're waiting for it to cool down.
And then
coffee has this thing where when you get it super hot, you never catch it at that perfect range. It's just cold all of a sudden.
Yeah. You know what I do? I have a Yeti little cup at home, so I'll pour it hot over an ice cube into the coffee, and then it stays that temp for like a few hours at least. And I just kind of sip on it.
Speaking of meeting up with the homies mishaps, I did go to ACL last year.
Yeah.
And I was going with a specific friend.
Okay.
And I think what happened, if memory recalls, is I told him the night before, I texted him and I was like, hey, I have nothing planned tomorrow, so I'm down to go like as soon as gates open or super late in the evening. Like, you just text me and tell me when to be there and I'll be there. Yeah. And so I text him the morning of and I'm like, what's the game plan today? When are we meeting up? Nothing. So then fast forward to like, I went to the gym. I'm going to get a little bit healthy before we start packing on the ACL food and the beers and all that other shit. Yeah. And at like 12:30, I pop Instagram open for a minute and he has some videos at the ACL concert, whoever was on. I'm like, that motherfucker went over there already and didn't even give me a heads up, whatever. Yeah. So I went home, changed, showered, took the dog for a walk, and I head over. So then I get to ACL, get past security, and it's probably like 2 o'clock or something. And I text him. I'm like, I'm here. Where are you guys? Waited like 20 minutes. So I called him. Doesn't pick up. And if you don't have a meeting point at ACL,
yeah, it's tough.
It's almost impossible unless you say like, oh, I'm in
the service gets non-existent. It's so hard to contact each other.
So then fast forward to like 4:30, and he finally calls me. Fortunately, the call came through. Yeah. Like, dude, what's up? Where are you at? And he's like, oh, I'm at home watching football. I was like, wait. But you put those videos up. And he's like, yeah, those were from yesterday's concert. Oh. I'm like, dude, you motherfucker. When are you going to be here? 7 o'clock.
It's like 4:30.
Yeah. I ended up not seeing him.
Oh, geez.
I stuck around for like one more hour. And then I was just like, I'm not waiting another hour and a half. Yeah. And he's the kind of guy that wants to stand at the very front. So like if the person he wanted to see is on at 9, he'll get to that stage at like 6:37 and he doesn't mind waiting so he can be as close to the front. And so around 5:36, I think it was who's the guy that sings church?
Oh, Hosier.
Thank you. Hosier was on. And dude, the crowd was insane. Yeah. Like the people in the front, I'm like, you're stuck up there. If you got to pee, poop, puke, you're not leaving. You get hungry, you want food? Nope. You get thirsty, you want some water? Nope. Yeah. And so then I saw that crowd. I was just like, you know what? I can hang out with him anytime, anywhere without being surrounded by 5,000 people. Yeah. I'm out. Yeah. So then I left. And on my drive home, he was like, hey, we just made it to the gate. Where are you at? Like, get out of here.
Sorry, bro.
I'm gone. I'm going home.
Who was that night? Do you remember? Anyone you cared about seeing?
Wasn't Hosier because he already went on.
I'm trying to think of who was, because I went last year too.
Was it Chris Stapleton? I know he was this year, but was he last year
I
too?
don't think so. He could have been. I don't know.
It wasn't a country artist. There were country there, but that's not who they were waiting out to see. It was, I don't know. What's today? The 19th? Eminem's playing tonight. I wanted to go to see that, but the cheapest tickets were $400.
Wow. It's a lot for an Eminem concert. I didn't even know he was still doing concerts. Maybe that's why it's so expensive. People want to go see him.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Last year was Foo Fighters were one night, which was a phenomenal show. I moshed to Everlong by Foo Fighters, which was I needed that one for my character development. Who all did we see? I don't know. I always forget who we see at these concerts because I never really give a shit to see any of them.
The lineups aren't that good.
I just go to hang out with my friends, basically, and it always gets me in May whenever the tickets come out, and I'm like, all right, like if I buy this right now, then come October, it'll be free because I already bought it. So
I think it was Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, yeah, that was actually a really good concert. I mean, this year, yeah, I went alone Sunday because my buddies who were gonna go just bailed. They were like, yeah, we're just gonna kick it at home today. I think he wasn't feeling too good the next day, and so I just went alone. I went at like 7:30 p.m. is when I got there. I went for the Dom Dalla set, who went on at like 8:15, or maybe 7:45. I think he went on 7:45. He kicked ass. He's an EDM like house music artist, tech house. One of my favorite DJs, and so he was the reason I bought tickets. So I just went for that, saw his show, left, and I was like, nice, this is good.
You have fun?
Yeah, it was fun. But the previous 2 days were like kind of a much longer ordeal. And it's always such like a different world when you're in there for like a whole day.
Yeah.
Depending on how you treat it. Like you're stuck in this little area. People are on various substances, behaving in different ways. Depending on what you're doing might impact the way you're behaving. And then you got to navigate through these crowds of people, and you're fucking surfing and you're swimming through trying to get all the people are coming at you, and you're like, whoa. It can be sketchy.
A little bit. By the way, I should have asked this at the beginning. What time do you need to be out of here by?
What time is it now?
11:30.
Probably closer to noon.
Perfect. So we got
Somewhere
a few
around
more
there.
minutes.
Yeah. So what are your plans today? I know you were saying you kind of you wanted to switch it up so we both had time.
So originally I was going to go on that Saturday morning walk I told you about.
Yeah.
But it ends in downtown at 10:30. So when we were texting earlier this week, my train of thought was like, how can I make everyone happy? If I get to the walk and we end at 10:30, but then I'll have to drive back super quick. What if he gets here before me? Because you do run early, which I appreciate. This
Not
morning
today.
you showed up 25 minutes early. What do you mean not today?
I thought we said 9:30.
We said 10.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Did we?
Maybe my mental thought was like to leave at 9:30, and I turned that into.
Maybe. Regardless.
Dude, I was like, fuck, I'm running late. Like,
So you know what's hilarious
if I
about
thought it was
that?
10, I would have got that damn shirt.
So when I thought what's hilarious about that is when you I got home at like 8:30 from walking the dog.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my head, I was like, he'll show up at 9:45. And I was like, I have an hour and 15 minutes to do dishes, vacuum. I had to delete a few episodes off that to make some room for today's. I was like, I have like 5 things I want to get done before Jack gets here. And then at like 9:05, you're like, I'll be there in 30 minutes. I was like, what?
Dude.
But then I didn't want to throw you off of your morning, so that's why I was just like, all right, drive safe, brother, or whatever.
Oh, man. No, I wish you had said something, because I was like, I was trying to get here by 9:30. I was like, because I'm not even bringing a gift this time. I was like, I want to show up on time.
The gift was you.
Wow.
I got to see Jack before he left town.
There you go. That's flattering.
Where else do you want to go other than Dallas? Or to answer your question real quick, though, it's going to be a pretty low-key Saturday. I'm going to do some podcast work. I'm going to hit the gym and I'm going to do an insane chest workout. I want to do like 10 workouts, just fucking go until I can't do a single rep.
Yeah.
Sauna for like 30 minutes, come home, cook some food, having a podcast tomorrow. He really likes what's the drink we had? He really likes mojitos.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make us like a mocktail mojito.
Nice.
And I'll do that tonight so it can sit in the fridge all night. And that's my Saturday.
There you go. Well, I appreciate you doing it this early. I know that. I'm sorry that kind of threw off your.
Don't be sorry.
The morning.
This feels good. Like, dude, we're gonna be done by noon, and then have a podcast already done. Already walked the dog, and then I'll have the whole day just to do whatever I want.
David's Saturday morning sit back. It's coming.
It's coming. This is the earliest podcast I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
Was I also the longest one the last time for a period of time?
Yours was the longest one up to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're out here setting records.
Yeah. That was back too when I had that stupid technology that capped it at 3 hours. So if you wanted to go longer than that, you had to stop the episode, start a whole new one, and then later edit it into like, it was stupid.
Yeah.
I don't use that anymore. Mm-hmm. Not even because most of them reached 3 hours, but because the ones that did, it was such a pain in the butt. Because it throws you off to be like, hey, stop, hold that thought, click, give it 30 seconds to save, restart. Okay, continue on like nothing happened.
Yeah.
It's just distracting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did like 1.5 hours each time, I think, was what it was.
Something like that.
We cut it in the middle.
Yeah.
Took a potty break.
Yeah, took a potty break. Maybe refreshed the drinks. We had some mojitos.
Yeah.
Ate some peaches.
Yeah.
Turned the AC down.
No peaches on the way here today. I would have stopped if I saw them.
It's all right. Here's a disclaimer. If anyone wants, not a disclaimer, I've had a few people tell me they would have brought me something if they knew what I liked. Now that we're in wintertime, if you're ever driving here and you see one of those people on the side of the road selling firewood and you want to bring me some firewood, that's always welcome.
I saw your firewood pile out there.
Yeah, dude, me and the dog love burning fires during the wintertime.
That's right here on the left.
Yeah. I'll move the desk somewhere else so it's not right there. And yeah, dude, what we'll do is, since we got all these windows, we'll just open every single window, and it gets to be like 55 in here, and then I'll just fucking fire that thing up, and it feels so good.
Yeah, you feel real salt of the earth, real human with your lighting stuff on fire, getting heat.
Yeah,
exposed to the elements.
So you mentioned that you're gonna go. You want to like move somewhere every 30 days or whatever the increment of time is. Where else do you want to see other than Dallas? Like what will be after that, do you think?
So, yeah, the plan is do Mexico City for a month, Medellin, Colombia again for a month, and then Buenos Aires for a month. Maybe Rio or somewhere in Brazil. I'm going to try and link up with some people who are also kind of doing similar stuff and see if they're doing anything of the sort, where they're going. It'd be good to have, like, I'll definitely have somewhat of a crew wherever I go. I've got people kind of doing, like, I know a lot of people from Instagram and from online doing the same kind of stuff. So that's the idea. And I'd like to do a month in each spot just because, like, I've done 2 weeks in Colombia twice, and I've done, like, a week in spots, and you just feel real pressured to make the most of it when you're there. And, like, if I'm going to also be, like, very focused on working and, like, developing the business, like being very dialed, I think being there for longer than a couple weeks, like being there at least a month, is good, because then every opportunity that comes your way, you don't have to be like, you don't have to say yes to because you feel like it's the last chance you'll get. Like, you can, I want to be able to just have like many nights in and just stay at home, but just experience what it's like to live there and not feel like necessarily a tourist. Like, I'm here to do this and that. Like, I'm just living here. Which is a lot easier to do also when you don't have like a lease that you're paying for back in the U.S. Like, if it's like, oh, this is my rent to just live here, like, that's, I don't know. It's I frame it differently in my head. Like, it feels like I'm actually living in these different places. And then come April, May, like, depending on how things go, if I've quit my job by then or not, because I'm doing Latin America because of Central Time Zone, basically.
Okay.
I mean, Buenos Aires is a little different, but like Colombia and Mexico are mostly the same time zone. I would love to go back to Europe in the summer. Like, I fucking love Europe so much. I want to go to Spain. I'd love to go to Valencia and stay there for like a month. I've never been there. And then after that, I would want to do maybe like a month or two in like the Balkan coast, like Croatia, Albania, Montenegro, one of those towns like on the coast, and just see what that's like, live in one of those spots for like a month at a time or whatever. and then we'll see what happens in between now and then. I mean, I need to get to like a totally different tax bracket for these things to happen, like to be operating the way that I like am thinking I'm going to be able to like easily fly back to the US often and like do certain things for family or friends or whatever. Yeah, we'll see. I'd love to go to Bali too. That would be like maybe that fall of 2025, go to Bali.
I had a friend that I think spent like 4 to 6 months there, and he really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Really got integrated while I was there. I mean, you spend half a year somewhere, and it's, like you said, it's so much different than like a 2-week trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's really easy to meet people from around the world. Like, it's a pro and a con. Like, there's a lot of people who will talk shit about, you know, the community of Bali being a bunch of like white people with dreadlocks, yoga instructors, people that are like just going to find their way. They're here to find themselves. And it's kind of been almost gentrified. Like the culture of the town or the island, like whatever was there, has been heavily influenced by the nomadic culture, remote work culture, digital nomad culture, which is effectively what I would be contributing to, which I'm not amiss to that. I'm not trying to be too much of a hypocrite, but I'm aware that that's, you know, kind of it's just changing. Like the reasons people wanted to go there so much in the past. Same thing with Austin. It's kind of losing that. So I don't know.
I have some follow-up questions for you, but real quick, if you've stuck with us for the last 2 hours, thanks for being here. I appreciate the heck out of you guys. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast before, but we are at a point where we have reached officially over 40 countries, over 446 cities, and we are in the top 5% of podcasts listened to globally. And so this thing's really spreading. And to all of you who are tuning in, whether it's for a one-off episode because it's a guest that you know, or you're just listening because you like the show, thank you so much. With that being said, we want to keep spreading this thing to see how big we can get it. And my promise to you guys, if you do the following favor for me, I will continue to find awesome guests like Jack Scheerle to bring here for you at no cost. So the only favor that I would ask of you is do me 3 favors. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, head over to Spotify, give us a 5-star review there, and then head over to Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review there. And what's cool is on Apple Podcasts, you can leave a written review. So if you want to leave a note for the guest, I will screenshot it, pass it on to them. If you want to talk about how you like the show in general or send some sort of notes of encouragement to me or tell me the best places to buy firewood for cheap in Austin, Texas, whatever you want to put, I would appreciate it. So thank you. And back to Jack. Do you think you might stop cutting your hair and just see how long you can get it while you're traveling and could come back as that dude with dreadlocks?
No. Nah, dude. When my hair gets too long, it's already too long.
You think it's too long right now?
Yeah.
Is it just like get in the way of your eyes or something?
It just like once it reaches a certain length is when I start wearing hats. Like, because it honestly looks like my hair. I look better with a hat on when my hair is a little longer than when it's really short. But my hair, I think, looks better when it's shorter. Just because when it's longer, I like longer hair, but I don't think I've got the facilities for that anymore.
The facilities.
I think my shit's weakening a little bit, and I'll look at pictures of me from college, and I'm like, I even thought my hair was fucked back then. I was like, dude, my forehead's giant, my head is fucked. And I looked at my pictures of me, and I'm like, damn, my hair was pretty thick back then. Like, oh man, I never thought I'd be saying that. So I don't know when it's. I can't do like a long haircut because I'll have to have bangs. Like I can't do like a slick back. It's just cooked.
I went to the gym the other day and I usually wear a hat and I forgot it or just wasn't wearing it. I don't know. And there's a bunch of teenagers there that really like to talk shit and make fun of me. It's sort of funny. But
do you like talk shit back to them?
It depends on
are they like actually talking shit amongst each other and like clearly pointing at you or something like that?
No. It's much different. It's very much like they're all my friends.
Okay.
I think I don't even know how it happened, man, but we all just became buddies. We talk while we're working out. And I think it goes to the thing of like a guy's only making fun of you if he likes you. They're not doing it like in a mean way or a malicious way. It's like they think it's funny. You know, the one like earlier this week, one of them was like, "Hey, you have your button?" And I was like, "What button?" And he's like, "Oh, I've fallen. I can't get up button." And then he's just like, and he walked away.
I'd be like, bro, what? That's a funny joke. I mean, that's so outlandish.
But
Respect.
one of them the other day, I walked through the door and I'm going to my first workout. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's just like, dude, what? And he was like, you're just so bald.
Did he not know?
No, he knew. I think they're just like, it was the one day I didn't bring a
Yeah.
hat. He was like, oh, what can I do to make fun of
Yeah.
Dave today? It's like, oh, just make a bald joke.
That'd be a good SpongeBob episode for you to watch when they find out this king guy is bald, and they're just like bald, bald, bald. It's like his head's shiny. They keep yelling it.
Do you happen to listen to The Broken View, these guys?
I do not.
So they're like a up-and-coming band out of New York. They have a pretty good following on YouTube. I think they have over 120 subscribers. It's 120,000 subscribers at this point.
Yeah.
But they're also like pretty small time. You know, they're not a Chris Stapleton. They're not a Pink. They're not a Kendrick Lamar or anything like that. But
I love that Pink was in there.
This is the first three bands that came to mind.
Dude, I'll jam to some Pink, bro. I remember I was like a fucking few months ago, I was driving around listening to Pink in the car. I was like, dude, I'm about to start crying.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when I was a kid. I listened to that shit.
What song was it specifically you remember?
Which one is it? If someone said 3 years from now, you'll be long gone and... Yeah, whatever the rest of that song... Well, I don't remember what that one's called.
I almost just started crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what that song's about. If that's like... It's clearly about some lover, but like, did they die? Is that why she's singing that? Or did they just break up? Because then it's like, okay. But if they die, that gets me, bro. When someone's partner dies, that shit's fucking hard.
It's rough.
That shit scares me.
A couple days ago, I saw one of my friends, and he loaded up four plates onto the T-bar row, and he's doing like the head banging thing right before he started, and then he jumps on, he knocks out like 12 reps. I'm like, I gotta know what he's listening to. And so I walked over, I was like, hey, what you got on? And he turns around his phone, and it was like the hardcore remix of I Kissed a Girl.
Oh my God.
No,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. It's not
she
judgment. It
definitely
was just like
left
the
him.
last thing I was expecting. You know, I thought it was gonna be like some fucking techno shit or like some hardcore rock, some Bring Me the Horizon or something. But no, I kissed a girl and I liked it, and that's who he was repping out 4 plates to.
Yeah, dude, she
great.
definitely just left him. He's going through it.
Well,
I thought you were gonna say he loaded up the bar and put 4 plates on bench and then grabbed it with thumbs on the other side, suicide grip. Just fuck it.
it was like the most ironic way to go meme. Just load up 4 pounds on the bench and just might be painful.
Yeah, unless
Especially if it didn't work, like hit you in the throat.
That's the tough one.
And you can't talk for the rest of your life. And you're in a wheelchair.
No good.
Oh, but with the Broken View, so one of my buddies, shout out Theo, came up to me in the gym and he was like, hey, I need some new music. What are you listening to? And I said, oh, I'm listening to the Broken View. He's like, really? I love those guys. I was like, oh, cool. The main singer, his lead singer's name's Austin. And I was like, oh, did you know that Austin just moved to Austin? Like, do you follow that closely? And he's like, Austin lives here now? It's like, yeah, dude, he moved here like 2 weeks ago. And he said, how do you know that? And I said, because I'm friends with him. I was at his movie. I was at his house watching movies with him the other night. And he goes, yeah, right. You're friends with Austin Kranick from the Broken View. And I was like, yeah, I am. And I like pulled up a picture of us. I was like, see, there's us. It was hilarious that because since they're not that big yet.
Yeah.
Neither like me, I talk about them all the time, but like me, Austin, the rest of the band members, they haven't met a lot of like people out in the wild
Who are fans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that this guy was like, yeah, right. You were at his home watching movies with him. I was like, he's just a dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a guy. He'd probably invite you over. Like, you're cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's funny.
It'd be like if while you're overseas, someone saw you on the streets of Brazil and they're like, Jack Scheerle? of Retroavius? You're real? Can I touch you? Are you AI?
I'd be like, how the fuck do you know what I look like?
Do you try to be sort of incognito on your personal page? Have you noticed that most of your pictures you have like hat, glasses, maybe looking down? Like it was hard to find a thumbnail for you when I made your first.
I just saw the thumbnail yesterday for the first time. I had never seen it. I didn't realize. Whenever you said thumbnail, or I was filling out the form again from the email, I was like thumbnail. I sent you a dumb photo this time. I don't have very many good pictures of me. I never get good pictures of me like when I'm anywhere. I cannot stand the way I look in pictures. So like anytime I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
I take one of you right now.
I don't have that many good pictures. I don't try to be incognito. I don't know. I just use pictures that I think look good, honestly.
There's a couple podcasts where they have a photographer on site and they're just taking pictures of them the whole time. Yeah. And then when they drop the episode on Instagram, they'll put like 8 pictures of them just, in candid moments.
Yeah.
I want that. So that's why I took that one of you.
Oh, yeah.
It's distracting. I actually had a thought this morning of getting a tripod for this and then just getting like a little button.
Yeah.
So I can just be like clicking behind my leg and the person won't even know.
Yeah.
And set it up like right there or something. But I don't know. I just think it's
That's
cool.
really smart.
I just don't have the money to hire a photographer to come over for 2 hours once a week right now, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, that's a high rate. That's a really good content strategy is like candid shots, like from Instagram, for example. Like that's what a lot of my post that tries to be a little more candid. Like I never pose for a photo and then would post that, like very rarely, I feel like.
So since you were here last, you started the broadcast channel.
Yeah.
Do you think that's helped with the growth, or how's that been managing that?
No. I don't know. I don't know what it does, honestly. A lot of people don't really use them. I kind of just do it to engage with the community. I don't think it helps with growth, but I think it helps strengthen your base. So like I let people respond in there. People don't really know they can reply to messages. They can't just, I don't think, talk, like send out things. They can reply to things and everyone can see it. And I don't know. I'm not good about using it every day. I try and do it like a couple times a week, but I never know what to say in there. And I'm like, do these people just think I'm like trying to grift and like get them to engage in my shit or buy stuff? So trying to do it to where it's like, it's hard to provide unique streams of value per se in like between your posts, stories, and then little channel, like, because I don't want to post the same things in each one. Like I don't just post my posts on my story. Like I try to do a unique thing on my story because I'm trying to get my stories way bigger right now, so that instead of having 3,000 to 4,000 story views a day, I want to have like 12,000. That would be ideal. Just triple that, and then I can sell to a lot more people, because stories are a great way to do that. But trying to do different things for each little space, it's just like there's only so much. I don't know. I'm already struggling enough with like doing unique things for my stories. I mean, it's pretty easy in the broadcast channel. I'll just send in pictures and just be like some stuff I found recently, like some unique stuff I just dug up. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it helps very much.
Jack Scheerle, did you want to talk about anything specific while you're here?
I don't know.
These are all my notes just for you.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I didn't come here with quite a message to spread, other than just sometimes you gotta live in life, sometimes you gotta laugh, and sometimes you gotta love. That's what I should have fucking brought you. That's what I should have brought, was a big poster that says "Live, Laugh, Love."
That would have been hilarious.
That would have been better. I thought of that last night.
So as you guys have probably heard us allude to, everyone fills out a form before they get on here. And the idea is that it helps drive the conversation a little bit. And on Jack's most recent one, he says, I asked him for his bio. And he says, founder and owner of Club Retro, live, laugh, love, global ambassador, professional dumbass, Texas Longhorn, and Max Maxer.
Yeah.
You're a goon.
Yeah, bro, I think that's accurate.
Oh, let's talk about this before you go. What did you mean when you put escaping the Matrix?
Oh, I put that as almost in like quotations, like the idea of it. Because it's become so popular to say that, like, oh, you gotta escape the Matrix, bro. And how many people are like trying to do that, and like what that has turned our culture into. Like it's in like 10 years, every person is gonna be like selling a micro SaaS, like a micro software as a service, and like we're doing and creating content, and it's, you know, I don't know. There's a big group of young men and women online that have seen the appeal to online business and what it can grant you through all these influencers. Seems like a lot of people are pushing for that, trying to do it. And a lot of people are doing it. Are we gonna have plumbers anymore?
God, I hope so.
Are we gonna have, like?
I hope so, because I ain't doing that shit. I'd be screwed if my.
Who's gonna drill for oil? Like, I feel like we're running out of real jobs. Like, the market for real jobs, or the pool of people going to these jobs. It's a weird thing where it's like, someone made a joke recently I saw, and they were like, hey, they were playing, or I don't know if they were pretending to be like, a mayor, or if this is like in reference to a game called, like, it's some city building game called like Skylines or some shit. But it was basically just like, hey, what's going on? Like, my unskilled poor laborers are gaining skills and bettering their lives and getting more money and moving into nicer homes. Where the hell am I going to get my cheap labor? Like, start being poor again. And it was like, hey, that definitely happened in the U.S. Like, from a real perspective, like the way that certain communities in the U.S. were kept poor so that we can have cheap labor, definitely happened. But it's also kind of like it brings up a point of like, if all these people are, if everyone's going to be a business owner, which is not what's going to happen, but it's like a lot more people are doing that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like, what's going to happen? Like, where are some of these? Who's going to do some of these jobs that still need to be done? Like, who's going to pick up the trash? Who's going to be fucking an engineer? Like, and I think there's still going to be a lot of that, but it's like, what's going to happen when everyone's their own, like, micro influencer, and everyone's like it starts trending Black Mirror kind of like in that direction. Like social credit score type shit. Like, that's kind of what social media is a little bit. I don't know. I think it's like I think the idea of escaping the Matrix, when people say it like that, like, I think everyone should strive to get out of being in something they don't want to be in, that they're just in to, like, pay the bills, and they should try and do whatever it is they're passionate about and get out of. But I don't know. I don't even, when I fill out forms like that, I just, like, think of what I'm thinking of at that moment and just put pen to paper. Yeah, I don't know.
I always get excited for those to come back.
Yeah.
Sometimes they come back blank.
Yeah.
They'll just put in, like, the name and then sign the agreement at the bottom. They're like, here you go. Other people put, like, a lot of thought into them, and it'll be, like, a very well thought out, like, not a script, but almost like, perfect. Here's the 8 bullet points.
Yeah.
We probably won't even hit all 8.
Mm-hmm.
This will easily take up 90 minutes. Yeah,
people who come here with a, people who are like specialists and stuff who want to talk about it, or people who want to promote something or spread a message. I'm a professional shit talker, so, like, I know there are things that I'm definitely passionate about speaking on, but I almost just don't feel like qualified to, like, speak with a sense of authority. You know what I mean? Like, come here and tell ideas.
What's the one thing that you feel the closest to being qualified as a sense of authority on?
being a professional dumbass. I mean, like, I say that as a joke, but like, I feel like something that I embody is just kind of like running and gunning and figuring shit out and like trying to do things, like living like wholeheartedly. And I think that's a good way to live. And I think like that's a good way to go through and experience life, is just like figure shit out, bumble around, you know, keep a good head on your shoulders. But I don't know. White Christian moms were onto something when they said live, laugh, love, bro. I'm gonna be honest. They really cooked with that one. It's it's a good one. I don't know what I mean, I don't know. It's weird for me to like think about getting into a professional frame of mind when I'm just talking.
You're just shooting the shit with David.
Yeah, and maybe it's because I'm used to like, because my things revolve so much around the computer, like being a designer. Like I could probably talk at length about brand design and how to go through and do human-centered design. I think that's fascinating, and that's something I do in my work. But when I don't have a computer in front of me, it just, for some reason, that clicks off. Or like, not even a computer, like, I don't know. We come for a discussion, and I feel like I try to listen a lot as well as talk, and like I don't come prepared with like a presentation or like a mental presentation, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't. This was honestly exactly what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Just me and Jack get to shoot the shit for a little bit.
Yeah.
Before he leaves town, which I didn't know that, but now it makes me even happier that we were able to make the time for this.
That's why and when you said do next weekend potentially, if like what I was bringing was so important, which I'm glad we didn't. I mean, we've got 2 of them already. Which you literally told me that. I mean, that whole conversation was how I figured out you were gay.
Yeah.
You told me that you went on a date with a dude, and I was like, I didn't know. And I screen recorded it, and I didn't send it to you last night. But the reason that threw me off so much was because in our first conversation, you were talking about this fear book you had read, and about how, I don't remember what it was called, but it was something about fear. And
The Gift of Fear.
Gift of Fear,
yeah.
Yes. And whenever you were like, and this changed.
Keep going.
This totally changed the way that I approach women. And then you were talking about how like, approaching, I mean, really just from the sense of like not making women uncomfortable, like around them. Like you talking about the elevator example where women get into this box with a man, even if they feel uncomfortable because of societal norms or whatnot. But I think just when you said that, and then we were talking about like talking to chicks in grocery stores and stuff like that. I definitely thought that you were talking about yourself too. Like you were talking about talking to chicks. And then that's just why it threw me off so hard. Whenever I found that out, I was like, you trying to be like incognito with this? Like whenever you,
yeah.
Or it didn't throw me off, but I was trying to figure out if that was like a recent development or something. Cause it just had never come up before. But
I think
yeah,
part
you
of
told
it,
me about that fucking date wearing this, and I fucking slipped my mind because I was literally thinking about that last night, like the way I found out, and somehow this was omitted from that in my mind, like that story, even though that was the story.
right?
So there we go. We're got another one.
I would have to re-listen to our conversation too, because I do remember talking about the Gift of Fear, but I find it, I usually won't, I'm fully out of the closet, but I also know a lot of guys who have come out of the closet, and it's like being gay becomes 100% of their identity.
Yeah.
And like how they dress, it's almost like they're itching to just fucking say it. And I'm more like I don't know about in the middle, but like if you were to ask me a direct question, like, are you dating anyone or something? I'd be like, yeah, I want to date with this dude or whatever. And then you'd know.
Yeah.
But I also don't feel the need to like shout it out.
Right.
Because I think that's sort of annoying. It'd be the same thing if like all I talked was my podcast. Like if you took me like to a party or whatever, and you're like, hey guys, this is my friend David. The first thing out of my mouth was like, oh yeah, I fucking host a podcast. Like, it's annoying.
Yeah.
You know? And because there's so many aspects to us outside of just like, you're not just an employee for this company or just the manager of this Instagram page or just like this, that, or the other. So I try to find like a middle ground of like not shouting it from the rooftops, but it's not a secret either. It's just like when it comes up, it comes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a very good way to approach it. I think that's normal. Yeah. It is interesting, and this is a conversation that gets dicey, but like how it becomes like the voice, for example, the gay voice. Like you don't have it. Like I never thought, but that's something that might not be good to say. Like the gay, but like gay,
you're allowed. I'm giving you permission.
Gay guys have, for the most part, like most gay men, they talk a certain way. It's kind of a little bit more of a feminine voice, or you cannot say that there's not a distinct way that a lot of gay men sound. Where does that come from? And a lot of straight guys sometimes sound like that too. Sometimes I sound like that, depending on how I talk. But like the fact that exists is interesting. That like it's definitely like a cultural buy-in, and then like that typically comes with being more out and like, I don't know, flamboyant is a word you could use to describe it.
You know what's interesting? I'll make another broad generalization based off one very small data point. Me and this guy named John back in California went on a date. And then on our second date, we went back to my place afterwards. He spent the night. Next morning, he's like digging through my closet. And he was like, hey, we got to like get rid of your whole closet. I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, there's nothing gay in here. and I was like, yeah, but like I like all these clothes.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, we need to like change your walk, and we need to like fucking like, he listed off all these things I need to do so like people know that I'm gay. And I was like, why would I do any of that?
Yeah.
And he's like, because you're denying your own identity.
Fascinating.
And I said, no, I'm not. This is like, I am wearing these jeans because I like how they make my legs look. I like the material they're made out of. They're very comfy. I'm wearing this shirt to support my friend who I bought it from. I'm wearing this beard, I've grown my beard like this because I think it looks handsome. Like everything I'm doing is not to hide or promote anything. It's because this is who David is and how he wants to present him. Not even how I want to present. This is just what I'm comfortable in.
Yeah.
And so we ended up never seeing, it wasn't an argument, but I could tell he was really either irritated or he thought I was doing something wrong against like the LGBTQ community because I want to embrace my homosexuality. I'm like, that has nothing to do with it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, why would I get rid of all these clothes and then go spend like $1,000 completely redoing my closet and things I'd prefer not to wear in the first place? Like, what am I going to go buy a bunch of crop tops and fucking pink shit?
Yeah.
And like, dude, I'm like, no, this is just what I'm wearing.
Yeah. It's fascinating. Like I mean, even what you just said was really interesting. The like, you don't have any gay shit in here. Like, you need to, and then like, where does that, is that to walk around and like signal in a sense of like, to like why do you want to let people know? Why does this guy want to let people know? So that like other gay guys see him and know, or is it like to help spread the culture of it? Like probably a mix of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super interesting because that becomes like a big part of the identity. Like for you, your identity trumps like being gay. Like it's a part of it. But like all the other things are just as equally a part of it. Like you've got all these things that make you who you are, and everyone has that. But like I think some people just make it a bigger part of their identity, and it becomes like the most visible part. And I mean, I don't know, the same way like super masculine dudes just make being a super masculine dude their whole fucking thing, having a big truck and driving like, or having like real tight shirts but they're jacked as shit and they got like tats and or like, you know, the way like, I mean, everyone just has their own style, I guess, you know, like certain girls have their own style that I don't know, everyone's got their own thing. But
that reminds me of another thing you might find interesting is I've probably asked you at least once, if not more. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Have I ever asked you that?
You have asked me that.
A couple weeks ago, someone introduced me to someone in the gym and didn't run into him. And then like 4 nights ago, ran into him again. And I didn't know if he remembered me. And I was like, I'm going to go say hi. So I shook his hand. He did remember me. He's like, what's your name? I told him. And I said, are you happy? And he said, what do you mean? And I said, are you happy?
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean by happy? And I said, have you ever heard this word before? And he responded back and he was like, well, as a man, I'm proud of who I am, but like, no, I'm not fucking happy. Happiness is for women and homos.
Oh, nice. That's a very normal guy.
And so I was like, well, I guess you're not completely wrong because I'm hella gay. And his face sort of like dropped a little bit and he didn't say anything. And so I just put my hand out again. I was like, good seeing you. And he's like, yeah, you too. And we shook hands and I walked away. But as I was driving home from the gym, I was like, I sort of feel bad for this dude that like he thinks and again, I'm making a broad generalization. I'm making a huge assumption here, but like feels the need to be such a man that he can't even be associated with the word happy.
Yeah, that's crazy. He sounds extremely normal. He should definitely own a firearm. We need to get this guy in crowded, small spaces with women. No, get him in an elevator. No, that's whack. That guy, that's such a strange thing to say to someone you don't know very well. Is be like, yeah, bro, being happy is for homos and women. I'm proud of who I am as a man. All right.
Yeah, that's sort of my takeaway. Was just like, I don't even really know what to say after that comment. Like,
enjoy your lift.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Oh, nice. What are you hitting? Some fucking abductors and adductors, you pussy. Keep going, bro.
It's funny. I did as one of my buddies, his leg workouts, his squats, leg extensions, leg curls, calves, done.
Yeah.
And he noticed that I do like, if there's a leg machine in the gym, like I'll try it. So he's like, hey, can I tag along for a leg workout with you? And so I had him doing deadlifts. We did barbell, glute bridges, or just what's the other term? Lunges, hip thrust. Thank you. We got on the adductor machine, and on that one, he looked up at me and he said, David, you're making me very uncomfortable today. But then he hit me up the next day. He was like, dude, that was the best leg workout. Like, I'm so sore. The next day after that, he was like, I'm even sore. Like,
yeah.
He loved it. But dude, when you're so used to just doing like the typical like guy workouts and then you make him go do everything else, but like it just shocked his muscles so much. I don't think he hit legs for like 8 or 9 days because it just took him that long to recover.
Yeah. And you need to do like adductors and abductors. Like I'm making fun of them because they're girl exercises, quote unquote.
Right.
Air quotes for listeners. But like people see that and they think it's just real silly looking for girls. But you need to be doing a lot of those. If you're just doing linear leg workouts, like everything is just your force of resistance is just straight perpendicular to the ground, you're gonna run into some injuries down the line. Like you got to strengthen your upper glutes and your adductors, abductors, certain areas that we rotate a lot more when we run and when we do athletic movements, and when we walk, everything rotates. Like you got to be more rotational in the strength that you build. Everything being just so linear is how people get injured. Like, I've been trying to do a lot more just fucking wacky shit to strengthen stuff, and I don't know.
Well, you don't have use of your upper body anymore, so you got to.
I know. I'm definitely going to just be hitting like one arm chest press.
If you ever want to do like a right-sided workout together, I'd join you.
Yeah.
Right arm curls, right arm chest press, right arm triceps. And anyone that asks will just be like, yeah, we're going to come in and do the left side tomorrow.
Yeah.
They don't have to know.
Yeah, I'm going to do it because I think it'll help me retain muscle on the left side. Like your body will see that this is being used and it'll hang on to more over here. But it will take a lot more PT to like get back to this being stronger.
Yeah.
Like I'd have to be doing isolated exercises.
Well, I want to be respectful of your time, and I have one more statement for you and one more question for you.
Alrighty.
And then we'll get you out of here.
Sweet.
The statement for you is, dude, you're doing an awesome job. Between the Instagram page, going to, travel the world a little bit, like this is very inspirational, and I look up to you. So thank you for being here.
Well,
thank you for being who you are. I don't think you give yourself enough credit, but like you're very mindful of who you are as a person. You're very intuitive, articulate, you're thoughtful. Like I love the human that's sitting across from me.
Shit, bro, what'd you do? Bring me over here just to make me come? Shit. I stole that one from Theo Vaughn.
I love Theo.
Or Shane. I don't remember.
I haven't heard him say that specific one, but he has a lot of fucking content out there too.
I think it's him and Shane Gillis, and Shane says that.
In case no one else says it today, you're also a very handsome dude.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. The question I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you've listened to any episodes this year, but one tradition that I've been really enjoying is I take my favorite questions from the podcast that I listen to, and at the very end of the episode, I ask one of them of my guests to see how they might answer it. Okay. And I think this one's very topical considering where the conversation went today.
I think you did. We did do this last time.
No, we didn't.
No?
No, I don't think so.
We talked about this, I think. Or maybe we just talked about it afterwards and I don't know.
Now you're making me want to re-listen.
You're saying you're asking me a question that you asked in a previous podcast?
No. So I take questions from other podcasts that I like. Like if I hear Theo ask a question, I'm like, oh, that was a really good question. Or if I hear like, I don't listen to Huberman, but like I'm basically sourcing questions from other podcasts that I think are really good questions. Yeah. And then I'll throw one your way to see what your answer would be. So your question is, you are known for your blank, but what would you like to be known for as the human that you are?
I feel like in my head, I'm known for my work in terms of just like in society for young professionals, everyone just like, it's one of the first questions, what do you do for work? Which I don't think is inherently a bad thing. I think everyone just wants to draw commonalities between people and figure out, oh, do you do something that I'm familiar with? Or, we spend a lot of our time working. It's important to people. So like, I feel like I'm known for working in tech or working with Instagram or working with but what do I want to be known for? I would want to be, I love the idea of doing stand-up. I want to be known for being funny. Like,
really?
Yeah. I did stand up once in high school. I did it like as my first time ever being on a stage was in front of like however many fucking people they packed in this auditorium. It could have been like 1,000 or something like that, or 2,000. I don't know. It was for Mr. FMHS. Was Mr. Flymount High School was like this pageant they did at the end of the year. People get voted in, and it was like me and my buddies were like. My buddy was on the student council, and he kind of just like helped get a few of us in, and so we were in this fucking pageant, and everyone had to have a talent, and I could not think of shit for the life of me. Like sometimes I sing in the shower, and I'm like, dude, if I were to sing and it was bad, I'd be that would be mortifying. So instead, I did comedy, and it was bad, and that was even better. No, it wasn't that bad, but it was. I think it actually went well. I fully adrenaline blacked out when I did it. Like, I do not remember. I remember up until I stuttered for half a second, and it was like I was just like time froze, and I was like, yo, either you blank right now and it's over, or you figure this out. And my mouth just kept moving, and I remembered the rest of it. I mean, I was sitting there back there, like, on stage, still memorizing it, like, seconds before I went on. And I had been practicing for, like, a month, like, trying to memorize this fucking set. And people laughed, but after the show, people came up and they were like, dude, man, that was ballsy doing that. That's crazy, man. That's crazy you did that. Wow. Oh, man, that's badass, dude. That's fucking ball. And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of comments that aren't the word funny. Like, how are we? I'm like, all right, maybe I didn't do so hot. And, my buddy has a video of it, and I've never watched it. I kind of want to watch it now, but it would hurt me to watch it. It would be so painful to watch it.
I would love to see this.
Oh, I'm sure you would. Everyone wants to fucking see it. That shit's not getting out. The Taliban couldn't get that out of me, bro. 40 nights getting waterboarded. That shit's still staying under.
Couldn't have been that bad.
I don't know. It's just
high school, you said?
Yeah, senior year. And I didn't even do the practice run for it. Like the day before, we did like a dry run, like an audition. Yeah, not audition, like a practice run through of the show. And everyone did their talents except me, because I'm not done with it. I'm still fucking memorizing it, dude. And I'm also not going to do a comedy routine in front of like 30 people.
Yeah,
like if no one laughs, like that shit's gonna fucking fall flat. That's gonna be so embarrassing. And too, it was like all the hot chicks in our grade were like the dancers, like the Rosettes is what they were called. And I think they were all like in there. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing a fucking stand-up routine that I've never practiced in front of all
the
these
Rosettes.
chicks. Yeah, bro. And yeah, bro, I was like, hell nah. And so I just went up there, fucking did it raw the next night, and I have no idea how it went. I literally have no idea. Like, I fully adrenaline blacked out. Like, I cannot remember any of it. Like, I think when we were talking about it on the last podcast, I was talking about how public speaking, sometimes I get like real tunnel vision, hard to think straight, hard to stay present. I mean, that was the highest version of that. Like, it's gotten better every time since then, because I had never been on a stage before. I had never spoken in front of a group more than like 30 people, probably, maybe 100 in Boy Scouts. I'm trying to think of if I even ever did that. So that shit was ass. But I want to go do it again. I want to go do like a minute somewhere. Like Kill Tony, I think would be fun to do.
Go to Banana Phone tomorrow night, 10 p.m. at the Comedy Club. No. You said no. You said no. So it's a minute. You have 60 seconds.
I'd have to come up with a minute. Also, I'm going to be busy tomorrow night. But
at 10 p.m.?
Yes.
Fine.
We're just getting started, my guy. Oh, wait. Tomorrow night's a Sunday. Today's Saturday.
I thought Sunday was your night to behave.
Yeah, you're right. No, today's... Fuck. Maybe. Let me think about that.
I'll see you in the Creek in the Cave.
It's at the Creek in the Cave?
The Creek in the Cave every Sunday, 10 p.m. I'm not sure what time sign-up starts, so you might have to get there a little bit early, but... So do you think this might be something you actually pursue in the future? Even if it's not, like, serious, but, like, just doing some open mics here and there, writing some jokes?
I would like to, just to get better at, like, being witty. Some people are just fucking good at, like, coming up with puns on the spot. People like Mark Normand or, like, that guy... He's epic. Yeah, but he's so quick.
Do you think part of that, though, comes from him practicing? Because when I hear him in podcasts, he will, while they're talking, the whole 2 hours or however long it is, he'll just be making puns. And I almost wonder if he's just been practicing so many years in informal settings, like a podcast, dinner with friends, that the ones that don't land at all, he's just like, whatever, I'll never say that shit again. And he carries a joke book in his back pocket. True. And then maybe the good ones that land, he's like, oh, I got to work this one into my next stand-up. Or, he's just practicing this just like anything else, right? I wonder if he got that way just because he is sort of just on. If there's another human in the room, whether it's one person or 20, he's just like, all right, go time. Let's see which ones work tonight.
Yeah. I think it's also autism, but I think...
Is he a little autistic?
I don't know. I think a little bit. And I've got a buddy who's really similar, and, like, I just believe that autism is a spectrum, and you can be as much or as little as, you are. I feel like I've got a little bit. I've got buddies who've got a little bit more. I think Mark falls in that space where it's like, and autism is a weird word to use because it's also like enhanced brain power. Like him and a buddy that I'm thinking of, very quick-witted. Like I don't have the mental RAM, I don't think, to come up with this shit at the pace and the rate they do. And part of it's probably practice. I definitely like chalk things up to natural talent more often than I should, and like just assume that people are like gifted in a way, they're just smarter than me, and that I just like don't have, like, probably with practice I could get better at doing that, but I think some people just have that kind of gift, like that kind of savant like ability to do certain things, and I think it comes at a cost of other things. Like I feel like you look at the way Mark Normand interacts with people, and he's kind of an awkward guy. He's got, you feel like there's a little bit something going on. My buddy who I'm thinking of, kind of similar guy. Like, I don't know. I use the word autism to describe a lot of things, and I probably shouldn't.
That's like you just made me think of, when I'm here with you or any guest,
yeah,
I have no problem carrying on a 2-hour and 45-minute conversation.
Yeah.
But there's this event that I go to it's the second Thursday of every month, and it's called the Internet Marketing Party.
Oh, yeah, I've been.
And at that thing, dude, I feel like the most awkward person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of a sudden, David can only make small talk. For some reason, I don't know if it's because, like, the last one especially was in I forget what it's called, Roma maybe, but it's like a smaller club. I think there's probably about 100 people there. The DJs were playing music pretty loudly. So there is the aspect of like, there's no music here. It's just you and me. We got our headphones on. It's very easy to laser focus in on each other. But at the IMP parties, a lot of people there, I'll have them on as guests first, and then I'll run into them there. And I'll be having a hard time making conversation with Jack. And then afterwards, when Jack walks away, I'll be like, how is it that him and me have this great conversation about whatever on a podcast, but then I go out in public, I leave my front door, it's like I'm a completely different person. I get very awkward. I clam up.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to talk about. It's strange.
Yeah. I feel like it has to do with like the context of the scenario you're in. And then like, depending on who you're talking to, like, I don't know, conceptions of how they are in the wild and wanting to like, I don't know. I get what you're saying. It can be like when you only know someone in a certain context, then you see them out in the wild or out somewhere totally different. Like whatever reasons you know them or like how you know them, like now it's all kind of being different, potentially questioned. Like you're just in a different environment, and I don't know. I get what you're saying. I don't have an answer for that, but it makes sense.
All right, good. Glad it doesn't make me sound crazy.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't. I think a lot of people are like that. Different environments, they're going to be more or less comfortable. But yeah, it's a strange one. I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
Yeah, like if I only know someone from like a very kind of wholesome setting, then I see them out about, and like I'm not behaving like a great guy. Like I'm not, you know, I'm not the same guy I am at the Saturday morning workouts. I'm like fucking, you know, a few drinks deep, booling with my boys, you know, talking to chicks, doing whatever. And I run into someone and I'm like, oh, what's up, man? Like, yeah, bro, just hanging out, just chilling. And it's kind of it takes a second. I'm like, all right, what kind of shit are they on? You know, like, you know, Saturday mornings, we're some upstanding citizens. We're some, you know, we're gathering for a workout, having breakfast after, doing kind of a group conversation, very communal, very, very brotherly. And then, you know, a lot of people in that group are kind of sober, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And then, you know, run into someone out and about, and they're on the same bullshit as me. That I'm like, hey, like, but it takes a few seconds to kind of suss it out, figure out, okay, like, because I have a bad habit of doing that. I've got a bad habit of like trying to appeal to people, you know, like trying to be the person I think they want to see out of me, like, which is something I'm trying to consciously be better of, but like, you know, hiding, you know, trying to kind of cover up the fact that, you know, I can get into some degenerate behavior every once in a while.
Like this afternoon.
We'll see. Nah, it should be fine. It should be good. I'm going to some family tailgate that a friend's family is having us at. I'm gonna be a very good boy. We'll see if I get into the game. We'll see. I don't have a ticket. We're gonna try and figure this out. But
you'll get in. I feel like you have your ways.
Inshallah, we'll get there. I got into we'll figure it out. The guy that I'm going with, my homie, he can finesse some shit. He's historically gotten into places he should not have gotten into. So we'll see.
See.
How did this conversation start?
I don't even know. What was the first thing we talked about before you knew the mics were already hot? You just sort of greeted each other.
Yeah.
And then we played the music. We were talking about where did I find your information. Who knows? That's why I love I black out on these things, man. It's weird. Even though it's not a nervous thing. Yeah. It's just like so much happens. And then 6 weeks later, I'll go back to re-listen to it before it goes live.
Like, and then you're like, oh, that's what we were talking about. We fucking forgot. You're like, how'd you forget? You were right there.
We weren't even drinking.
I know, you're literally right there.
Fully present, lock cocked, ready to rock. It's a great time.
Facts.
Dude, what a good episode
yes, sir.
To send you off into the wild on.
I know.
Not the wild as in Austin, but just your journey and wherever you go over the next couple months. Dallas first.
Yeah.
with the grandparents, and you're going to throw out all their vegetable oil.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to piss them off and then try and make them walk the dogs more.
that I'm in favor of this.
Yeah.
You can help with that.
They can. It's not that I care about the dogs getting walked. It's because I care about them walking. I want them to walk the dogs. I'll walk with them. I'll be like, all right, every night we're going to go walk the dogs. They're like, oh, if you're going to walk them, we'll just stay back.
Like, no, come with me. This is quality time before I leave the country for 6 months.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right, Jack, Scheerle, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a healthy and happy Saturday, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.
Peace.